Hello, everyone, and welcome to Advective Weather's live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to be here today for quite a while as we talk about a evolving severe weather threat that is rapidly materializing across the central Mississippi Valley, stretching all the way down to the mid-southern United States. So we're going to be having severe storms. We have storms south of Dallas, and then we have severe storms stretching all the way up into the state of Iowa, heading towards Des Moines with rather large hail there, considerable damage threat with those. And then we do have our plethora of tornado warnings as well there in the state of Arkansas. Today is a serious day. It's the most serious day we've ever covered, and I myself, your host, am in the risk for the severe weather coming up. As a result, I am currently already in my basement, in my designated tornado shelter, so that way if anything does happen, I can continue to serve you guys, give you information. I might have to go on mute, might have to do things like that, but you'll know the stream is safe. So that way, in the event that something does happen with me, you guys will still be able to hear commentary from our great team here. Speaking of our team, we have a team of 3 people today. We have Kay and Elliot here, who are going to be helping me with live commentary here at the desk as they monitor storms. And we also have Jake here, and this is his camera. He is storm chasing in the northern side of this thing. So we do have a storm chaser on the ground today who is chasing, I believe is heading towards a supercell thunderstorm up there in Iowa, maybe Missouri, not 100% sure. There he is. He's showing the radar, so he's showing us what he's going for. It's a severe thunderstorm there that appears to be in the state of Iowa. So the serious situation continues to unfold with time. And yeah, with that, welcome to everyone on the team.
Thank you very much, Thomas. And it's a pleasure to be here. We will be definitely here for at least the next several hours and hope to provide some good coverage for you guys. So stay tuned and make sure you have a way to access warnings and watches. So that's the most important part of the day, just staying weather aware.
Absolutely the case today, and we do have a rather serious situation that is unfolding. So let's talk about it right now. We're going to start here with looking at the SBC outlook. High risk in place today. 2 high risks. This is pretty rare. We have a high risk here just south of Cedar Rapids, heading through Burlington, Muskeg along the I-80 corridor there, stretching to around Springfield, Illinois, and Peoria, Illinois there. It includes Quincy as well, and it also includes there northeastern Missouri. We have a high risk there to the south as well that includes Memphis, Tennessee. That's the big city. But if you're in Tupelo, you're right outside that high risk. And Little Rock, you're in that moderate risk as well. I'd still be watching things there as well. Major cities within the moderate risk include Indianapolis, Springfield, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas, and then as we head in Des Moines, also all those cities within a moderate risk, and in a enhanced risk, we have Texarkana, we have Huntsville, Nashville, Bowling Green, Louisville, and I believe here, Cincinnati and Columbus both in or just outside of the enhanced risk. So is Chicago. And then we see in slight risk major cities like Kansas City, Springfield, Missouri, Dallas, Fort Worth, just outside the slight risk, Shreveport in the slight risk as well. Birmingham also within that slight risk. So major, widespread, severe weather outbreak expected today. Numerous strong to potentially violent tornadoes possible as well. So this is a big one. This is a situation that could get very dangerous very fast, could get quite ugly as well. I'm going to be in and out of the stream here some today, just as a warning to the team, as there are going to be numerous things I'm probably going to need to address with my family as well as severe storms arrive. So lots of stuff to talk about today, but let's get started with what's going on here. We have a lot of tornado warnings that are currently in effect, so let's talk about those. First one is with a supercell heading into Little Rock. There's a tornado warning now in place for Little Rock, so that's for Faulkner, Saline, and Pulaski counties until 2:30 p.m. That's for a tornado and ping pong ball sized hail, and that includes the following locations. So Little Rock, North Little Rock, Benton, Sherwood, West Little Rock, Mooley, Bryant, Downtown Little Rock, North Little Rock Airport, Southwest Little Rock, Argenta, Otter Creek, Propto Junction, Lakewood, Camp Robinson, Geyer Springs, Sylvan Hills, Mablevale, Salem and Saline County, and Levy. So if you're in any of those areas, this is radar indicated. Doesn't look too bad right now, although that could escalate rather quickly. So I'd be getting to my tornado safe place. Again, you're in a moderate risk if you're in Little Rock right now. So make sure you're taking that seriously. As we move north, this has a far stronger couplet on it. This is actually of quite a bit of concern. I'm not sure there's a tornado down on it right now exactly, but there's definitely some strong rotation there near Guy. So if you are within southeastern Van Buren, southeastern Selburne, or northeastern Faulkner counties, you're on a tornado warning here until 2:45 p.m. And that's due to a radar-indicated tornado as well, although that's starting to look rather serious. And then even farther north, we have a little, I don't know what to call it. I'm not sure I'd call it a supercell, maybe a mini supercell, but it even looks strange for that. Some weaker rotation within that, and that tornado warning was just let to expire. So I'm not going to be so worried about that now. Let's talk about a tornado warning up there in Iowa as that situation continues to unfold. That's actually not in Iowa. That's in the state of Missouri. So I think actually yeah, this is the best radar for it. There's some rotation there, solid rotation, to say the very least, as a tornado warned storm here in Mercer and Putnam counties is in place until 2:30 p.m. So pretty good environment for tornadoes and large hail. We have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings in place as well, many of those being of a considerable damage threat. Up there in Iowa, we have baseballs falling from the sky, golf balls falling from the sky in some places. So, yeah, that's rather significant as well. I also want to go over real quick our watches here. If anyone from the team wants to go over those, you certainly can. But we have a couple of particularly dangerous situation tornado watches. So does anyone want to go over that?
I can certainly go through that.
All right, wonderful. Well, let's see what's going on there.
Are you able to bring them up on your screen and then I'll talk through them?
Yes, I have a wider graphic, but I can even bring up the specific watches as well. So yeah, you just start talking about them, and I'll put them up on the screen for people.
Okie dokie. The first watch that was issued today was Tornado Watch 93 for most of Iowa, far southwestern Wisconsin, western Illinois, and northern Missouri. This includes cities such as Columbus, Springfield, Quincy, Burlington, Peoria, Kirksville, Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, and even as far north as Mason City, Iowa. It is effective until 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, and it is a potentially dangerous situation. The primary threats are numerous tornadoes expected, with a few intense tornadoes likely. You do not hear them say that very often. Widespread large hail, isolated very large hail events to 3 inches are also likely. Widespread damaging wind gusts to 70 miles an hour are likely. Summary for this region is that intense supercell thunderstorms are expected to develop this afternoon and spread eastwards across the watch area. Tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds are all possible with this activity. Parameters are favorable for the potential for strong to violent tornadoes and very large hail.
Yeah, so we have the real
moving
deal.
on to the next one. Yeah, that's that. And that tornado watch had the probabilities of 95% for a tornado and 90% for a strong EF2 plus tornado. That's only 5% below the maximum it can possibly be. And there have only been a handful of tornado watches of this level in the past 15 years. It's comparable to days such as Easter Sunday 2020, March 25th, 2020, where we had those wedge tornadoes in the Birmingham area, and of course, the super outbreak back in 2011. I believe there was also a similar level of watch for May 20th, 2019, with the high risk in Oklahoma and Texas that ultimately failed to live up to expectations, but still likely had one very significant tornado that thankfully didn't hit anything. But that makes a point about today's event, which is we could have many potentially violent tornadoes, but they might not hit a town. However, a weaker tornado that goes through the middle of a city could do far more damage than multiple violent tornadoes that go through the countryside. So just because a tornado isn't incredibly strong doesn't mean it's still very dangerous. An EF2 tornado is more than capable of killing people in a mobile home. And so, particularly if you're in a manufactured home or a mobile home on a day such as today, where any tornado could very quickly become a strong and life-threatening situation, you need to be paying close attention to the warnings. And as soon as a storm is moving towards your area, you need to assume that it will produce a tornado that is capable of impacting your home and take the appropriate action. If at all possible, you'll have moved to a friend or relative's home ahead of time, a well-built home that has an underground or interior room that you can shelter in. But if you don't have the ability to go to one of those places, please try to work out where your local shelter is. If you do not have a local shelter available, you need to work out where you're going to go and what your action will be if a strong tornado is moving towards your location.
Absolutely the case. Let's see. What's the information on Watch 94?
Watch 94 is immediately south of Watch 93 for southern Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, western Tennessee, northern Mississippi, almost all of Arkansas, and far northeastern Texas. This is also a particularly dangerous situation, Tornado Watch. It is also in effect until 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The primary threats include several tornadoes, few intense tornadoes likely, again. Scattered hail and isolated very large hail events to 2.5 inches in diameter likely. Scattered, damaging wind gusts to 70 miles an hour likely. Summary. Numerous severe thunderstorms are expected to develop and spread across the mid-Mississippi Valley region this afternoon and early evening. Supercells capable of damaging tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds are all possible. Parameters are sufficiently favorable for the risk of strong to violent tornadoes, which is pretty much exactly the same as it was said for the northern particularly dangerous situation watch. And the probabilities for this event are 90% chance of 2 or more tornadoes and a 90% chance of 1 or more EF2 plus tornadoes. So yes, this is a equally dangerous situation. 5% difference doesn't mean anything.
I do want to bring up briefly that the storm near Little Rock does appear to be headed straight for the radar, actually. And there is a pretty well-defined couplet with that thing. So we do recommend, if you're in the Little Rock metro area, you should be getting to your safe shelter now rather than later, because this thing is moving in on the metro pretty rapidly. So yeah, this thing is looking kind of nasty on radar. Definitely a somewhat pronounced hook. So yeah, we should be keeping an eye on that one as well, I think.
Yeah, the primary threat at the moment is this tornado supercell that is moving into the Little Rock metro area. It is tornado warns. If there are tornado sirens, I presume they're going off for Little Rock right now, which would definitely be alarming for anyone in that region. But don't panic, don't get overwhelmed. Just don't be outside. Be in a safe place. That interior room, away from any windows, below ground if possible. It is not in a car. It is not in a mobile home. Right now, there does not appear to be a tornado on the ground, but given the threat today, it could produce a tornado with no notice at all. So you need to move to your safe place. Don't assume that it won't produce, because it very well could. Now, I'm going to have to go for around 15 minutes, and I'm back as soon as possible. But hopefully you'll be able to keep talking for the time being, Elliot.
I should be, and yeah, if anybody in the YouTube chat does have any questions, feel free to direct them to, feel free to put them in chat, and myself or any other team member that's available will be more than happy to answer them. So,
thank you very much.
as you can see, there is the threat is just only starting for today. We're already seeing some tornadoes, which is never really a good sign. I've been basically checking like all the National Weather Service Twitter feeds in the area. Nothing really new has popped up. The main threat does appear to continue to be the cell that is heading in towards Little Rock. There's also a tornado warned cell in a little bit further north, the next county or so up, and it does appear to be weakening a little bit, which is good news. However, it's still tornado warned, so like Quitman, Arkansas, is right under the cell, and it is appearing to be heading towards Heber Springs. So if you're in either of those locations, you should probably be getting to a safe space now if you're not already there. Although it does appear to be weakening, so that is good news.
Absolutely agreed there. Yeah, I mean, it's been a serious situation that continues to unfold around the Little Rock area. If you're in Little Rock, again, it's time to get to your safe place. That's going to be the lowest level of a sturdy building in an interior room. That's not really an optional thing. You do need to be in that safe place. You'll notice I'm in my safe place already, just in case something happens here. So again, it's going to be lowest level sturdy building, interior room, basement, closet, something like that. It's going to be really good for this. And unfortunately for you guys in Little Rock, this cell does appear to be organizing rather quickly. So if I'm in Little Rock, I'm taking my precautions because this thing could drop a tornado at any time. We have a high-end parameter space today, the kind of parameter space that areas like this don't see very often. This is like a once or twice in a lifetime kind of thing, especially for the high-risk folks, where you see something of this caliber. So very dangerous situation, but that is as described by the SPC in conditions you may only see once or twice in your lifetime, assuming that it performs up to the way that it is supposed to. But again, two high risks. This storm is in the moderate risk, but the conditions for it are already looking quite good. So this extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold with time as we continue to deal with what is known as a bimodal severe weather outbreak. But this storm, is sitting within some of the best environmental conditions for tornadic thunderstorms right now, and those conditions are actually overperforming a little bit. So we'll see what happens, but I think we're going to see a really serious corridor here over the next few hours of tornadic thunderstorms. I mean, this storm already has pretty good wind shear with it. It's already got pretty good lift with it. So, I mean, everything about this storm is already looking pretty good. So if I'm in Little Rock, again, I'm in my safe place. I'm not taking my chances with this as this dangerous situation does continue to unfold here.
Indeed, and there is also a tornado warning that is in far northwestern Missouri. Currently, it's near Ravenna, Lucerne, and Powersville. It's set to expire in 7 minutes, but it's still definitely active. So if you are in some of those areas, you should be getting your safe space. There is also a severe thunderstorm warning, like overlaying it, and this is probably due to a hail threat, as that cell is producing some pretty high reflectivities on radar as well.
Yeah, it looks like this is a big hailer. And again, it does have that rather substantiated tornado threat with it as well. So um, we'll see what's going on here. But again, we have a lot of things that are going wrong here. So this is unfortunate. And Yeah, no, that Little Rock cell in particular, that's the one I'm worried about. New tornado warning here has just been put into place, though, there in Missouri, with a supercell thunderstorm heading in the general direction of Mendon, Rothville, and Mercilin. This is radar indicated, but we do have locations impacted like Brookfield, Marceline, Hale, Brosworth, Mendon, Tina, Sumner, Rothville, and St. Catherine, within Charlton, Lynn, Carroll, and Livingston counties there in the state of Missouri. But yeah, we do have an arc of supercell thunderstorms that is slowly making its way across the state. So it does appear.
Hi, Thomas. I have a wall cloud on my camera.
All right, I'm taking a look right now. What's going on? Yeah, we can see it there. It's a wall cloud. What storm are you on by chance? If you can hear me, what storm are you guys on? I don't think they can hear me all that well. It's not the greatest view, but you can see there's a bit of a lowering with that thunderstorm. I believe the northern mode is the one being chased here. I'm just not 100% sure which storm specifically. I think it's in northern Missouri. It's the northern Missouri storm. But we'll have to see. I'm going to go and check in here on that storm heading into Little Rock. And yeah, my goodness, that couplet is getting a lot stronger. I don't think we have a tornado on the ground just yet, but we very well might.
Tornado warning does seem to be continuing for Little Rock, North Little Rock, and Sherwood, Arkansas. They do have damaging tornado as the threat, with ping pong ball sized hail possible, and there's still 300,000 people in this tornado warned area, so this is a very serious situation. So I hope everybody there is getting their safe space.
This is a PDS tornado warning, actually. It's just been upgraded. Yeah, it's PDS. So this is a tornado warning in place for South Central Faulkner and Pulaski counties. This is a radar-confirmed tornado. According to the Weather Service, radar-confirmed tornado on the ground lifting up debris. This is a particularly dangerous situation. If you are in Little Rock, it's time to get to that safe place right now. It's lowest level, sturdy building, interior room. But a PDS tornado warning, that's a particularly dangerous situation in place for the following areas. And yeah, there it is. Oh my goodness. Big time CC drop now on this. So big time debris ball. This is heading towards Kamek Village. If you're in Kamek Village, it's time to go to that safe place right now. Unfortunately, it looks like we could be seeing our first significant tornado of the day already, as things are escalating rather quickly, heading straight towards Little Rock. So this is a bad situation here. If I'm in Kamek Village, if I'm in Little Rock, if I'm in Sherwood, I'm getting to my safe place right now. There's a Professor Bowl here near this, Heights and Taco, teammate Cole. Yeah, but Kamek Village is heading straight for you. There's an Edwards Food Giant near there. It's going to be crossing the Arkansas River, and then it's probably going to hit the Burns RV Park and Campground as well. But this is likely to go north of Little Rock proper. If I'm in Little Rock, I'm still in my safe place. This could take a turn at any moment, but there is a tornado on the ground. So this is a radar-confirmed, damaging, deadly, dangerous tornado heading towards Kamek Village right now. That is a particularly dangerous situation as per National Weather Service Little Rock. So that's what we have right now. So if you're in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, West Little Rock, Noomville, downtown Little Rock, North Little Rock Airport, Southwest Little Rock, Argenta, Burns Park, Morgan, Marsh, Channel Valley, Oak Grove, Pulaski County, Penkle Mountain State Park, Brotho Junction, Gibson, Lakewood, Camp Robinson, or Sylvan Hills, it's time to get to your safe place right now. Considerable tornado damage threat and 1.5-inch hail. Not fun stuff. That is for sure. That is a serious, damaging, dangerous tornado currently on the ground with a considerable damage threat moving into Little Rock proper at this time. As we move north here, I don't want to leave anyone out here. We do have a couple other tornado warnings at this time. The first one here near Hale and Mendon. So this is in Missouri. And this is in place for Charlton, Lynn, Carroll, and Livingston counties. And then we have another tornado warning here that's in place. So that's currently in place for Mercer and Putnam counties as well. We have brand new tornado warning. It's just gone into effect here. This one is in Illinois. This is for Fulton, Tazewell, and Peoria until 3 p.m. So we have a tornado with radar indicated rotation that'll be near Glassford at 2:40. But unfortunately, it does look like our tornado situation is ramping up rapidly. But again, our primary focus right now, the particularly dangerous situation currently unfolding near the city of Little Rock. That is a big time debris ball. And this is heading very close to the radar, so it's kind of getting difficult to see what exactly is going on here with this. But if you're in Little Rock, if you're in northern Little Rock, Sherwood, Sylvan Hills, it's time to get to that safe place right now as a PDS tornado warning. That's a particularly dangerous situation is already in place. So this is a major issue. First big tornado of the day, it appears, is about to move through Little Rock or north of Little Rock, and
Just
unfortunately, I
now,
expect many more.
it's been upgraded to tornado emergency.
Tornado emergency now. So we have a tornado emergency now in place.
Damaging tornado
Yes,
to
we
and tail
do.
possible.
Big time tornado emergency now in place. This is a tornado emergency for Metro Little Rock. This is northwestern Prairie, northern Lanoke, Faulkner, White, and Pulaski counties until 3:15 p.m. Again, it's a tornado emergency for Metro Little Rock. So if you're in Little Rock, it's time to get to that safe place. If you weren't there already, it's time to go now. 2-inch diameter hail with this supercell and a catastrophic damage threat here with a deadly tornado, they say, radar confirmed. So if you're in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, Jacksonville, Cabot, West Little Rock, Moonville, Downtown Little Rock, North Little Rock Airport, Little Rock Air Force Base, Southwest Little Rock, Beebe, Ward, Austin and Lanoke County, Argenta, Old Austin, Parnell, Travel Ridge, or Olmsted, it's time to get to your safe place right here, right now. That is a tornado emergency, the highest level of tornado warning that can be put into place, now in place, regarding this potentially catastrophic tornado there in the state of Arkansas. So National Weather Service Little Rock pulling the trigger on a tornado emergency that is now in place. Again, that is a tornado emergency now in place that includes Little Rock, Sherwood. So again, if you're in downtown Little Rock, you need to be in your safe place. If you're in Kamek Village, this thing is over you. If you're in Sherwood, Sylvan Hills, you're next. You're running out of time. If you're in Little Rock, especially on the northern side of town, this thing is likely going to hit you. So again, if you're in Little Rock Metro, a damaging, dangerous, potentially violent tornado could be on the ground here. We'll see. The Weather Service describing it as a deadly tornado, and it's very hard to see due to radar, but the parameter space today is good enough that you need to treat all of these, no matter what they look like, as these violent, larger tornadoes. Regardless of whether they are or not, they need to be treated that way because they could very quickly evolve that way. To the team, do we have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, anything like that?
I think you basically covered it all. You need to be taking every storm that's warned here very seriously. This system is not going to be playing around. This is going to be a pretty dangerous event for a lot of people. So always respect the polygon and get to a safe space if you are in any warnings.
Absolutely the case. That's a great saying there. But yeah, I mean, that's an extremely dangerous situation there unfolding near Little Rock. Again, tornado emergency in place. And we are seeing now there is a tornado on the ground that's rather large moving through Little Rock, according to Brett Adair. If you go over to Brett Adair, you can actually see what's going on here. But that was as of about 6 minutes ago. Brett Adair did get a tornado on the ground moving into Little Rock. So this is a spotter-confirmed tornado. It's a bigger tornado. And we'll see what happens here. It's very hard to see on radar what's going on, but there's a big couplet, and there is a CC drop. There's a debris ball there. It looks pretty classic. It's going to make a close call with the radar. So this is likely a very strong tornado on the ground right now, heading towards Sylvan Hills, Sherwood, McAlmont, Gravel Ridge, and Gibson. This supercell is all by itself. It's not even that mature in terms of structure. It's just so powerful because of the environment today that it doesn't even matter. It's able to drop a strong tornado already anyway. So again, if you're in Prairie, Lanoke, Faulkner, White, or Pulaski counties, you are in a tornado emergency until 3:15, with Metro Little Rock being the city that in particular is being called to take cover right now. But there it is. There's a big debris ball. It's just north and east of Kamek Village, heading towards Jacksonville. If you're in Jacksonville, this thing's heading in your general direction as well.
Should be noted that there is also a new PDS tornado warning for Kenton, Illinois, Glassford, Illinois, and St. David,
goodness.
Illinois. just to the southwest of Peoria, and this thing will be having baseball-sized hail possible as well with it, as well as a damaging tornado. And again, this is a particularly dangerous situation, so if you're in that area, you need to be getting to a shelter now as well. So we now have 2 PDS or Tor-E tornadoes on the ground.
Yeah, there it is. PDS tornado warning now in place there with what looks like a rather robust tornado potentially there. I think this is the best radar for the job. I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, it looks like it's the best radar for the job. Yeah, we do have a stronger tornado within that, rather substantiated. So there it is. This is a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning for a damaging tornado. It's going to be heading towards Glassford around 240 and Penkin. Now, this is what's going to happen today. We're going to have a lot of tornado warnings that do go and get upgraded here with time, as we just have numerous potential tornadic thunderstorms right now that are ongoing. So it's sometimes going to be difficult to tell what exactly best thing to do is, but a dangerous situation there. It continues to unfold. We have numerous radars open right now. I'm getting as many as I can, so that way we can keep track of this the best we can. But yeah, I mean, this is just one of those days where, I mean, we have a tornado emergency in Little Rock and we have a PDS tornado warning in Illinois. But there we go. The extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold. So let's go over all of these one by one now. We have a tornado emergency in place for Metro Little Rock that remains in place. This is for a broadcast media confirmed tornado now. So if you are in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, Jacksonville, Cabot, Murrayville, downtown Little Rock, North Little Rock Airport, Little Rock Air Force Base, Beebe, Ward, Austin and Lanoke County, Agenta, Old Austin, Burns Park, Parnell, Gravel Ridge, Morgan, Match, Oak Grove, any of those areas, it's time to get to your safe place. A tornado emergency remains in place for you guys down there. That is an extremely dangerous situation continuing to unfold. And let's take a look at this. This thing is right next to the radar. Right next to the radar, shoving debris up in the air. We'll see if that radar stays up. I hope it does. We need it today. But this tornado is getting very, very close to the radar. So we'll see if it dodges it. But I mean, this thing is so close. But I mean, the rotational signatures we're getting out of that are very, very strong. So again, it's a tornado emergency currently in place there with what looks to be a large tornado now, a strong, large tornado. There are numerous images now on social media of this. There is a large, dangerous tornado now on the ground. Can confirm that it is a rather large one. So again, that's extremely dangerous. And then again, we have that particularly dangerous situation tornado warning up there near Peoria. There it is. I mean, that supercell. It looks like the real deal. I'm not actually sure that there's a tornado on the ground right now. There is no indication of one on the ground, but they do have a PDS wording for it. It says it's radar indicated rotation. The Weather Service might know something we don't. The parameter space is high end. This is a classic supercell, so they have a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning in place right now. So if you're in Banner, if you're in Glassford there up in Illinois, especially if you are within East Central Fulton, West Central Tazewell, Southeastern Peoria counties, it's time to get to your safe place. Peoria, you are not in this warning. However, you will likely be within one soon. So if you're in Peoria, you need to be watching out as well. This is a life-threatening situation. And then again, we have another, just goodness gracious, a large tornado moving through Little Rock, Arkansas right now. And there it is. It's over the radar. We have gotten a scan while the tornado would appear to be over the radar. So it's kind of difficult to see what's going on there. But it does look like it's made it out the other side, and we still have coverage there. Definitely a CC drop still with that. But we can't really tell how strong it is using the radar until a bit later. But as of now, I mean, that's a serious tornado that's on the ground there. That is a strong tornado, and this supercell is going to be able to continue to take advantage of its environment for quite a while yet. Unfortunately, we have quite a while yet before we're going to really see things calm down. So unfortunately, I mean, this is just the beginning of the day, and we're already seeing stuff like this. To the team, your thoughts?
I just think that we need to stay very vigilant today. Everybody in the Mississippi River Valley should be weather aware today. because a lot of these storms, you're not going to have as much time as usual. Since the environment is so good, it's often going to be a case where it develops a lot faster than usual. So always make sure that you have a plan to get to a safe space, because that's going to be really important today for a lot of people.
Agreed there for sure. We're going to continue to look at this with time here as this serious situation does continue to unfold here. But again, tornado emergency for Little Rock, Arkansas. New radar scan there, and this thing still looks intense. So I think we got an intense tornado now heading towards Jacksonville. So this thing just dodged Little Rock, may hit northern Little Rock, moving towards Jacksonville. Right. Do we have anything additional here?
Nothing that you haven't really covered. There is still a tornado warning for the cell in Quitman and Guy, although that cell is long past, so I think it's pretty safe to say that it should have expired or will expire pretty soon.
Fair enough. We do have a new tornado warning there in the state of Missouri, though, to the south. So let's actually just take a look at that. There it is, that storm. There's no equipment and Guy. But here we go. Let's take a look at both of these here. Radar indicated rotation. We have a tornado warning in place for north central Cary. No, that's where it's canceled. Tornado warning remains in place until 3 p.m. for northwestern Charlton, southeastern Lynn, and southeastern Livingston counties. This is for a tornado and $half-sized hail. Radar indicated rotation. That's a dangerous storm. And then to the south here, near Fayette, we have a tornado warning for central Howard County with a tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. So again, an extremely dangerous situation does look to be in place here. So let's go over now the PDS tornado warning. It's in place there near Peoria. And I mean, this cell does look to be organizing rapidly. So if a tornado isn't already down, it probably will be soon, unfortunately, here with this storm heading towards Glassford, North, Penkin, places like that. But very large hail with this, 2 3/4 inch hail in place with this. But this is a particularly dangerous situation with a damaging tornado. This will be near Glassford at 240 and Penkin around 250. So extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold there. But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, today looks really bad, folks, and it looks like the threat is materializing just the way we thought it would. It might even be materializing a bit earlier than we thought for some of these stronger tornadoes. So I'm
Hi,
not
Thomas.
really
We are right in the middle of this. I think this is the PDS warning. This is the wall cloud right here. We're on top of a bridge. We are near Pekin, Illinois, a little bit near Peoria, Illinois. This is the direct view of a wall cloud right now.
Yeah, we can see it there.
You are sideways.
Yeah, no, it is sideways, so we can't see it that well. But yeah, there is a bit of a lowering there. You can see the inflow notch, but that storm, that's the PDS one that could drop a tornado soon. You can see the lowering there rather clearly. But yeah, no, your camera is a bit sideways, Jake, if you can hear us. So if you can turn that so we can see it right side up, that would be ideal. But there we go.
Yeah, the reflectivity on this Peoria cell is very impressive. In one of the recent scans, I actually got a 76 dBz reflectivity, and that corresponds to some pretty large hail. So even if there's not necessarily a tornado, the hail alone is going to be reason enough to really get to a safe space.
Absolutely, that is the case, and you can see that couplet there organizing on the southern side of the storm. Currently, we're seeing over 3-inch hail possible on the hail detection algorithm. So, I mean, an extremely dangerous situation there continuing to unfold with a particularly dangerous situation there heading in the general direction of Peoria. If you're in Grassford, this thing's heading towards you. If you're in Penkin, this thing's heading in your direction as well. Let's go back to our tornado emergency storm there in Arkansas. This guy right here still has a debris ball on it. Still has quite the debris ball on it now. As it moves away from the radar, and quite the couplet as well. So we still have a tornado that's down, still doing damage, heading straight towards Jacksonville. If you're in Jacksonville, now's the time to get to your safe place. You have minutes if not less, to get to shelter. So you need to be getting there very quickly as an extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold for your general area. Unfortunately, this is a strong, potentially violent tornado, and we do have, from our very own Rashiko, an estimate of debris getting lofted up to 25,000 feet in the air with this. That's 25,000 feet in the air. That is indicative of a significant, strong tornado on the ground there. So this is a very strong tornado heading towards Jacksonville, and we've just had an update to this tornado emergency. It's now for Sherwood and Jacksonville. So a tornado emergency remains in effect until 3:15 for northwestern Prairie, northern Lone Key, south central White, and northeastern Pulaski counties. And this is a particularly dangerous tornado. This is a broadcast media confirmed tornado. They're saying it's a large destructive tornado, was producing damage at Highway 67 and Interstate 440, that intersection there. So extremely dangerous situation remains in place there as this tornado emergency continues with a rather robust debris ball. Even visible on the reflectivity scans as this does begin to move away from radar. So my goodness, this is a long track in tornado, folks. I don't know how much longer it's going to be on the ground for, but there is a tornado on the ground producing damage heading towards Jacksonville. So it's time to get to your safe place if you're in Jacksonville. Storm Prediction Center issued a mesoscale discussion for this, saying a likely intense tornado EF3 is ongoing in a very favorable environment there near Little Rock. That's for the Little Rock cell. So not good news there, to say the very least. My goodness, strong tornado on the ground right now. And we're going to continue to watch it right here at Advective Weather.
There is some good news, however. The tornado warning cell that is near Peoria is no longer a PDS, although it is still producing 2-inch hail, and there is still radar indicated rotation. So we do want to still be taking all of our precautions with this cell, as it is still a dangerous system.
It's absolutely the case. So let's continue to take a look at what's going on here in Missouri. We'll just check on these real quick just because I don't want to leave anyone behind, and then we'll head right back to the tornado emergency in Arkansas. So here's what we got. We have a tornado warning in place until 3 p.m. for northeastern Charlton and southeastern Lynn counties. That's for a tornado and $half sized hail. And as we move south, we have a tornado warning that is in place for Howard County until 3 p.m. That's for a tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter as well. All right, let's get back to that tornado emergency currently in place in Arkansas. Now, to those of you viewing this, I see there are a lot of you. If you guys know anyone in the path of this, send them this stream, guide them to broadcast. I don't care what you do, but make sure that they know this tornado's coming, especially if they're in Jacksonville. This thing's about to be right on top of them. If you're in Butterville or Hickory Plains, farther down in this warning, or you know anyone there, send this to them. Share this with them. Get the message out. We can save lives doing this. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, we'll be glad to answer them in the chat as well. But this is an extremely dangerous situation that continues to unfold here in the Little Rock metro area as a strong tornado continues to move through. And there it is, big time debris ball on reflectivity after this move through Jacksonville. Very unfortunate situation there. It's hard to see any sort of debris ball on the correlation coefficient just because of how close this is to radar, but there is a debris ball there for sure as this strong tornado continues its move through. The tornado emergency there was certainly warranted, and again, the Storm Prediction Center saying this is likely an intense EF3 plus tornado as of about 6-7 minutes ago.
An absolutely tragic situation. Hello, I'm back. I can't believe what's going on right now. Steps away with an innocuous-looking storm moving towards Little Rock, and I come back to tornado emergency, menacing stovepipe tornado with violent-looking rotation right at the surface. And as you can see from that reflectivity, you don't get 60 dBz, the pink, you don't get that very often with a storm, and we have a well-defined debris ball that is strengthened immediately after moving through the town of Jacksonville. So unfortunately, it seems that this tornado is continuing to do damage of a significant level.
But it does look very mean. Again, we are near Pekin, Illinois.
All right, we're
we can
getting
see
some.
your wall clouds. Yeah.
We're getting some in and out stuff there from Jake. Let's go over to that wall cloud there very briefly. But there it is. I mean, again, it's a bit sideways, but you can see it a lot better there. There's a well-defined, mean-looking. There it is. Thank you.
There we go.
There's a mean-looking storm over there. So, I mean, you can see rather clearly that lowering there. So that's for the storm near Peoria. Now,
We might look it south a little bit. We are a little bit close to the wall cloud, but we are in a good spot. If there is a tornado on the ground, it might be wrapped in rain. Don't even try to trace this thing.
yeah, no, that's totally true. Yeah, we can't really tell on here. Jake can't give us a visual confirmation of a tornado over there, but we're going to continue to monitor this with time. Very strong velocity signature there, with the potential for a catastrophic tornado here. Again, that's why that tornado emergency is in place in Arkansas. Let's talk about it. Tornado emergency for Jacksonville. That's what they have right now. This has just moved through there with a well-defined debris ball. If I'm in Cabot, Ward, Beebe, or McRae, or Hackery Plains, I'm getting to my safe place right now. This is going to be moving up in that general direction here. If I'm in Des Arc, this is going to be hitting me in 323. And these guys are outside the warning, but still, if you're in Des Arc, if you're in Cotton Plant or Georgetown, I'd be watching this because this could be hitting you guys downstream. So that is a extremely dangerous situation that continues. As a large, violent, extremely dangerous tornado looks to continue to make its way through the Little Rock metro area there. So it looks like Little Rock has taken a direct hit from a tornado. Let's talk about now the tornado warning storm near where Jake is. So there's a new tornado warning now in place for that. I'm going to read this out right now. There's a tornado warning that is in effect for Woodford, Tazewell, and Peoria counties until 3:15 p.m. So this does include Peoria. This is for a tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. So if you're in Creve Coeur or Market in Illinois there, you're going to be getting hit here in about 5 minutes. If you are in Peoria, Morton, or West Peoria, you're going to be getting hit around 3 o'clock. In East Peoria, Washington, Germantown Hills, Bayview, Gardens, you're getting hit around 3:05. This includes Interstate 474 between miles 1 and 14, and Interstate 74 between mile markers 87 and 103 there. Extremely dangerous situation over there as well, as that supercell is slowly organizing. It has some pretty good rotation in it. However, we're not seeing any sort of direct signs of a tornado on the ground. We can go back to our storm chaser here. Doesn't look like he has the footage on right now, but when that footage comes back, we'll be sure to show you that storm. Keep you up to date.
I would like to mention that Fox Weather recently had some drone footage from
screen over here. The tornado simulation over here is passing right to my north.
What's going on there?
Say that one more time, Thomas. Sorry about that.
Do we got did you say there's confirmation of a tornado?
I am not sure. I'm not sure if it's on the ground, but this is it right here.
Yeah, there it is. You can see that inflow tail. Yeah, there it is. That could be a tornado. We'll see here relatively soon. That's near Peoria, but this supercell is strengthening rather rapidly. All right, Kay, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Fox Weather has some drone footage from the recent tornado emergency in Little Rock, and the part that they were able to have the footage for. Numerous homes with roof damage, quite a lot near the core of the tornado had their roofs gone completely. Nothing worse than lost roofs, although one home might have had its first story gone as well, but everywhere had at least a ground floor remaining, which is a positive sign because it means that if people were in a safe place, they were likely okay. But it's still a serious situation, a lot of significant tornado damage.
Absolutely, and we're just seeing footage come out of this. That is a large tornado that was on the ground over there, and it's most certainly still on the ground. We can still see that debris ball on radar. We can still see the strong velocities, and as we move a little farther away from the radar, we'll be able to more easily see the structure of this storm. But this thing has power. So again, that's a tornado emergency.
Footage from 1 minute ago. A large cone tornado is still on the ground.
Goodness gracious. Okay, so yeah, large cone tornado still on the ground, heading in the general direction of Butlerville and Hickory Plains. So again, if you're in Butlerville, Hickory Plains, you have a those are the major cities that are up next. If you're in Cabot or Beebe, I'd still be in my safe place. Large hail is possible there, and if this does make a hook to the north, you guys are in trouble. So a tornado warning, a tornado emergency remaining in effect until 3:15 for northwestern Prairie, northern Lanoke, south central White, and northeastern Pulaski counties for a large destructive cone tornado that is currently on the ground there, that is heading in the general direction, again, of Butterville and Hickory Plains. If you are there, or anywhere between there and Jacksonville, it's time to get to that safe place right now. And unfortunately, we have another supercell developing right behind this one, starting to hook up as well. Not much rotation just yet, but a severe thunderstorm warning now for Little Rock. So if you're in Little Rock, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-sized hail heading your way there with that as well. So looks like we might have training supercells here, unfortunately, but this one doesn't look anywhere near as organized as the one that we're currently tracking. We'll see if that remains the case, hopefully so.
Unfortunately, it seems like the high risk is more than warranted today, given that we're barely started and we've already seen one likely intense tornado move through the center of metro area. Hopefully none of the other tornadoes today move through such a densely populated area, although we do currently have that tornado warning storm moving into Peoria. It doesn't look amazing on radar right now, but as we saw with the Little Rock tornado, that can change very quickly.
It absolutely can. But yeah, there it is. I mean, that storm's getting more organized there near Penkin and North Penkin. That's heading in the general direction of Peoria. Peoria is probably getting some large hail with this right now. But again, if you're in Woodford, Tazewell, or Peoria counties, you're in a tornado warning here until 3:15 p.m. for a tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. So again, it's going to be really important to get into your safe place. But again, the main story has been that large tornado that went straight through the northern side of Little Rock, still on the ground here. It's moved through Jacksonville and is now moving towards Butlerville and Hickory Plains. So again, if you're there, the rotational signature on this still looks very intense. It still looks like there's a debris signature with this as well. And that tornado emergency has been updated, and is now a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. So it is no longer a tornado emergency. However, it is the second highest level of tornado warning still, as a strong tornado remains on the ground. So if you're in Butlerville, Hickory Plains, I'm still getting to my safe place here, as a dangerous situation is continuing to unfold there. So again, that's a dangerous situation there. We'll see just how much longer this tornado remains on the ground. It is certainly a long tracker, but even if this tornado does lift at some point in the near future, we know that these cells are going to be cycling today, and unfortunately, this is just the beginning of what looks to be a very long day of what could be particularly strong tornadoes.
Indeed, and we do have some good news from Little Rock. The Little Rock National Weather Service does have, it has survived, and the forecasters have taken control back from Memphis, seeing as the forecasters at NWS Little Rock were all sheltered in place for that tornado. So they do have the radar capability again, and they do have the ability to forecast again, so that is some good news for the remainder of this outbreak.
We're glad to see that there. And it does look like the tornado intensity guidance from Sam Emerson, according to Sean Paul, he did put in the fields here, and it looks like this was an intense to violent tornado that just moved through Little Rock. So yeah, it's a very dangerous situation there. But we do have some good news. We only have 3 tornado warnings now in effect. We did have 5. The first one there for that particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning, currently unfolding there for the storm that went through Little Rock and Jacksonville. Still has a robust debris signature and is now heading again in the general direction of Butlerville and Hickory Plains. So if you're there, you still need to be getting to your safe place. There is still a tornado on the ground. However, this is not a tornado emergency at this time. We have the cell near Peoria. Now, this is a base tornado warning. This is for radar indicated rotation. However, the cell is organizing rapidly and it is in a very favorable environment. So if I'm in Peoria, if I'm in Penkin, if I'm in Woodford, Tazewell, or Peoria counties there, I'm still in my safe place here, as this could escalate very quickly. as time does go on. And finally, we do have a tornado warning there in central Missouri. That's just north of Highway 70 near Fayette. So that's heading towards places like Harrisburg at this time. So again, that's a tornado warning in place for that cell. Although I think that's probably going to be allowed to expire soon, as the couplet seems to be outside of that. It's now within the severe thunderstorm warning for Boone, Audrain, and Monroe counties. So that includes places like Centralia, Madison, and Paris. And that's for ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. They do note the possibility of a tornado. Unfortunately, we are in a bit of a radar hole here, so it's going to be difficult to see if this storm is producing a tornado, but the Weather Service will tornado warn it again if needed. So again, the two major cells are the ones near Peoria and Little Rock at this time, as an extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold there.
The Storm Prediction Center has issued their latest day one outlook. It doesn't appear that too much has changed since their last outlook. There are still 2 high-risk areas near eastern Arkansas and Memphis, and for southeastern Iowa, western Illinois, and extreme northeastern Missouri. So essentially nothing has really changed, but this is still a very dangerous situation, and we will continue to provide coverage.
No, we absolutely will, as the situation continues to unfold rather rapidly. Again, if you guys know anyone within these moderate high risks that are in place today, contact them. Let them know this is happening. Send them over here. We can keep them covered as well, as a widespread outbreak of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes continues. But you can see there those 2 high risks. That includes Memphis. Little Rock just got hit in the moderate risk. And then we do have like Peoria just outside of the high risk. Burlington, Quincy, Cedar Rapids, places like that. And you'll notice here rather clearly that the moderate risk people also in a vulnerable spot as well. So if you know anyone within the yellow, the orange, the reds, or the pinks here on this map, send this to them. Make sure that they can also get the coverage they need to stay safe during this hard situation as it continues to unfold here. As unfortunately, we've already seen a strong tornado today here down in the state of Arkansas, and I unfortunately expect that we're going to see some more as time does go on. So we'll see what ends up happening there, but again, it is an unfortunate situation. Let's check in on that storm there up near Peoria. This storm currently has a couplet that doesn't look that organized, doesn't look that favorable for tornadoes. However, a new severe thunderstorm warning has just come out here for Marshall, Woodford, Tazewell, and Peoria counties for 2-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts with the note of a possible tornado with that supercell. Again, that does include Peoria, so you should be remaining in your safe place right now. As time goes on, we have a new tornado warning in the state of Illinois as well. And no tornado warnings in Missouri now, so that's good news for them. But in the state of Illinois there, we do have a tornado warning there near Stronghurst. And that looks like it might be a CC drop. It's very difficult to tell if there is a radar signature of a tornado with this. But regardless, a tornado and quarter-sized hail with radar indicated rotation for Henderson and Warren counties in the state of Illinois. So if you're within that tornado warning, again, it's safe place time. That's lowest level, sturdy building, interior room. You guys know the drill. So again, that high risk of severe storms remaining in place today as a severe weather outbreak continues throughout this afternoon. Goodness gracious. I mean, this is a widespread severe weather outbreak, and unfortunately, it does look like it's kind of what we feared it would end up being. We have numerous supercells here. And now we have a destructive severe thunderstorm as well. I want to talk about that. As there was a storm report of 2 3/4-inch hail with this thing, and its rotation is now rapidly strengthening as well. So we have a very strong severe thunderstorm here. It's destructive with baseball-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That is for a severe thunderstorm warning in place until 3:15 for south central Monroe, west central Davis, and northern Appanoose counties. So again, baseball-sized hail is being reported by emergency management. So if you're in Centerville, Lake Sundown, Rathbun Lake, Medvoria, Mystic, Unionville, Rathburn, Udall, Honey Creek State Park, any of those areas, it's time to get to that safe place right here, right now. And now there is a tornado warning in place with this storm as well. in the state of Iowa. So let's talk about it. There's a tornado warning in place for southeastern Monroe, Wipolo, northwestern Davis, and southeastern Ammonoosuc counties there in the state of Iowa. That's until 3:45 p.m. So there's a tornado and baseball-sized hail with that, and this is going to be around Unionville at 3:05, Lake Wapello State Park around 3:10. So again, if you're in Otawumba, Eldon Agency, any of those areas, you have baseball-sized hail possible there with a potential tornado as well. That is a strong couplet there. That is also, excuse me, is also present with that severe thunderstorm. And again, there, if you're in Des Moines, you just got hit by a considerable severe thunderstorm as well. So lots going on here, lots to keep track of. Let's go back to Arkansas here, where that tornado emergency was. And now we're gonna look at this. This is a tornado warning that remains in effect until 3:15 for northwestern Prairie, north central Lanoke, and south central White counties until 3:15 p.m. Now, some good news. This storm looks significantly less organized with its rotation than it did. However, the supercell structure is most certainly there, and this could drop another tornado at any time. We also have an inflow surge with this other storm moving into Little Rock. So if you're in Little Rock here, I'd be watching out for that cell as well. But again, for that particularly dangerous situation tornado warning, again, there is a confirmed tornado on the ground with that still, but it does look substantially weaker than it once did on the radar. So if you're in Cabot, Beebe, Ward, Austin, Lanoke County, Thurman, Old Austin, McRae, Sylvania, Garner, Butlerville, Hickory Plains, or Woodlawn, it's time to get to your safe place right here, right now. It's a big deal. There is, again, a strong tornado continues, although the only good news I have is that it doesn't look quite as bad as it once did.
Now, Thomas, we have a question from live chat really quick. What's the timing, if any, that's going to be in the St. Louis area? What time should they expect to see some storms?
So storms are going to be expected there within the St. Louis area in the next few hours. So we actually have some severe thunderstorms there near Columbia. And so these storms are moving at about your highway speed, 65, 70 miles an hour. So you got about 1.5 hours before severe weather is going to become a real threat there in the St. Louis area. So that's what I'd say. And then, this is only wave one. There's going to be a second wave behind this as well, unfortunately, that could also very well lead to some problematic storms. So wave one, that's going to be here relatively soon as we continue to watch this severe weather situation unfold. So again, numerous tornado warnings now in place. But again, the main headline is that storm in Arkansas. It still has a debris signature with it, although it is much less organized. And again, that couplet with that tornado also looks a bit less organized. To the team, do we have anything from social media? Any updates there? Do we know anything new regarding the potential of today and what's currently going on?
Have we gone over the new tornado watch?
No, we haven't, but that does include Chicago. So would you like to go over it?
I don't have it up right now.
Okay, I will.
I can get to it in a bit.
All right, I got it. So there is a tornado watch for northeast Illinois, northwest Indiana, southern Wisconsin, and Lake Michigan. This is effective until 10 p.m. tonight. The primary threats with this are a few tornadoes being likely, with a couple intense tornadoes possible, scattered damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour, and scattered large hail events up to 1.5 inches in diameter. So that's a serious situation there as numerous supercells continue to fire. And here are the probabilities. 60% chance of 2 or more tornadoes, 40% chance of 1 or more intense tornadoes. We do have a 70% chance of 6 or more severe wind reports, a 10% chance of a hurricane-force wind report, 40% chance of severe hail, 6 or more reports of that, with a 2-inch in diameter or larger hail, that being a very low chance as well. And those are 10 or more wind and hail events, with a 90% chance of 6 or more combined severe wind and hail reports. So that's a serious situation there, but our particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch on the southern end of things, is already verified, and I fear that our one to the north might be doing so soon, as we're going to continue to watch, and I think we could see here that rapid development of that tornadic thunderstorm near Peoria. So we'll see if that produces anything. Jake, do we have any new information on that storm there near Peoria? Because it does look like there was a tornado with this, according to a trained spotter, back near the intersection of State Park and Spring Lake Road. There it is. Organized supercell thunderstorm has now moved past Peoria, moving towards Eureka,
Hi,
and this
Thomas.
could drop a tornado at any time. Yes, Jake?
Hi, Thomas. So, in addition to a tornado threat, we are in East Peoria right now. There is a huge flood threat that is going to be associated with these supercell thunderstorms. We are currently in East Peoria, and we can see that some of the road is flooded. You can see in low-lying areas, flooding is definitely going to be a concern. So, if you're in a flood-prone area, please review your safety guide with your family and just know what to do during the flash flood warning.
Absolutely. So, again, that's going to be higher ground if you're in a flash flood warning. That's what you're going to want to get to. Let's continue to take a look here as this supercell thunderstorm moves towards Butlerville. This tornado looks significantly less organized. That's good news. However, the Weather Service still has this as a particularly dangerous situation, so we're still going to treat it as such unless told otherwise from the Weather Service. We do have another question here for what's going on in Springfield, Missouri. We can actually move up there and take a look at the Springfield radar. Now, what's going on there, we have a lot of strong wind reports coming out regarding just straight line winds there of over 60 miles per hour being possible. However, when it comes to thunderstorms, we do have some thunderstorms developing near Springfield. However, if you're in Springfield, at least for right now, things are looking pretty safe for you, as it looks like these storms aren't going to really intensify too much until they're outside of there. If you are in Springfield, you're still in a level 2 out of 5. You're in a slight risk for severe weather, so that's definitely non-zero, and you're in a slight risk for tornadoes, strong winds, and large hail. So it's not like you don't have a risk for severe storms. However, the severe storm threat is most certainly going to be maximized to your east. So again, it's going to be places like St. Louis, Columbia there in the state of Missouri. Those are going to be the more serious places today where we could get strong tornadoes, just like the one we just saw in the state of Arkansas. So we'll see what ends up happening here, but unfortunately this has appeared that it could be a worst case scenario kind of day, and unfortunately here we do have a new tornado warning that's just gone into place here. This does include the city of Little Rock again. So Little Rock, you're in a tornado warning again with a new supercell there, the one to the south, and that one, it's rotating all right. Is it overly strong? It doesn't look like it, but this storm is most definitely rotating. So if I'm in Little Rock, I'm getting to my safe place again. If I'm in Lenoke or Pulaski counties, I'm in a tornado warning until 3:45. I'm getting to my safe place. So if you're in Little Rock, North Little Rock, Sherwood, Jacksonville, downtown Little Rock, Lenoke, North Little Rock Airport, Argenta, Burns Park, Parnell, Mito, Prato Junction, Lakewood, Sneesmore, Levy, McAlmont, State Fairgrounds, South Bend, Camp Robinson, Sylvan Hills, I'm getting to my safe place right now, as there is the potential of a damaging, dangerous tornado being on the ground yet again here in rather short order. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But there is a bit of rotation with this cell. It's kind of hard to see, and we will continue to watch as this moves on through. And then again, we do have our warning to the north of that. That previous tornado emergency still remains a particularly dangerous situation there, but that does look far weaker on radar. That's the good news. We'll see if that does end up recycling. This doesn't really look like the classic supercell that you'd expect at this time, but again, high risk remains in place.
I'm hearing secondhand, but apparently someone who's listening to local news says that a funnel cloud has been reported with this new tornado storm.
Oh goodness. All right. So again, if you're in Little Rock, this is a real threat, and you need to be getting to your safe place right now, as it looks like another tornadic supercell could be materializing. This one looking a bit more robust in structure than the previous one. It's going a bit farther south as well. So southern Jacksonville now, Lenoke, those areas. Again, it's time to be in that safe place. We still have that tornado warning in place in the state of Iowa. And that couplet looks substantially weaker. That's good news, but it does look rather tight So we're going to continue to watch that, but that's near Unionville, pretty much over Unionville, moving past that. If you're in Ottumba in the state of Iowa, I'm getting to my safe place here. So if I'm in Monroe, Wapello, Davis, or Apponeonsis County, I'm getting to my safe place right now as this storm moves in my general direction.
Quick question from chat. Is Rochester, Minnesota going to get hit with a tornado?
Rochester, Minnesota. Now, Minnesota...
It's in the southeastern part of Minnesota.
It's in the southeastern part of Minnesota, so you're in a pretty low risk there for severe thunderstorms. But I can pull up the visualization here real quick just to make it a bit easier to see what's going on there. First, I want to go over the new tornado warning for the northern cell there that produced the strong tornado that moved through Little Rock. So if you're in Woodruff, Prairie, Lonoke, or White counties, you're in a tornado warning until 3:45 p.m. with a potential tornado and quarter-sized hail there. So if you're in Augusta, Beebe, Kensett, Higginson, West Point, Thurman, Pryor, McRae, Hurricane Lake, Garner, Griffithsville, Dixie, Venti Corner, Walker, McClelland, Gregory, Haley, Butlerville, Hickory Plains, or Warden, I'm getting to my safe place right now as a new tornado warning is in place. All right, I'm going to move to the north now, near Rochester in Minnesota.
To answer the question quickly, Rochester is north of the 2% tornado risk and is outside of the tornado watches. So you are not expected to get a tornado today. It would be very unlikely. Possible to get some sporadic wind damage, maybe some hail, but you're not expected to get anything tornadic today.
No, that's a good answer. That was about what I was going to say as well there, as I did find that information as well. So looks like all parties agree here. Yeah, if you're in Rochester, you're pretty safe from any sort of damaging tornadic thunderstorm today. All right, if you know anyone here within these tornado watches, within the high risk, moderate risk, enhanced risk for severe weather today, it's time to let them know what's going on. And you can even send them to this stream so that way they can continue to get the information they need to stay safe during this thing. But we're continuing to watch a dangerous situation unfold as numerous tornadic thunderstorms continue their development. We have numerous panels here on our radar. The reason for that is because our first panel is what you're used to. This is how heavy the rain is, essentially.
Or hail.
Yes, and in the wintertime, snow, things like that as well. But you can see there in the panel to the side here, this panel, this is the one that we use for, I don't think you can actually see my cursor. Give me a moment. Yeah, you're supposed to. There you go. But you can see there the velocity. So this is basically how fast our winds are moving towards or away from the radar. And when your reds and greens come together, that's a problem. And then our correlation coefficient. So if you see an area of rotation with a blue area under it, most of the time in a kind of concise circular kind of shape, that's normally a telltale sign of a tornado being on the ground there. So that's what we're looking at right now in terms of tornado warnings. And we do have a new tornado warning, I think. Just went in place in Illinois. So we'll take a look at that.
Peoria looks bad right now.
Yeah, that's wrapping up rapidly.
Hi, Thomas. We're headed towards those two cells, that one tornado warned storm in northwestern Illinois. We're headed towards that right now.
All right, so are you headed towards the one that just passed Peoria?
We are leaving Peoria that one weekend, so we're just we're driving.
It was cycling.
It was cycling, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's strengthening rapidly again here. It looks the best it has on radar. It's probably going to drop something soon.
The very next radar is strong.
Yeah.
We're already far away from it.
But yeah, we're a little far away from it. The storms are moving very fast, and it was starting to get a little rain wrapped. And plus, being in a populated area, that's a no-go. So we're just gonna go chase.
Headed west?
Yeah, I think he headed west. He's heading towards the storm near Galesburg. And that could materialize rapidly as well.
Radar dead zone, so that'll be a real help.
That'll be very valuable, and we appreciate the storm chasers that we have here at Effective Weather, the storm chaser Jake there, helping us out with this coverage today. So we do have a tornado warning there in northern Illinois. That is the one for central Warren County till 3:45 p.m. That's the one near Monmouth, heading towards Galesburg. Now, if I'm near Peoria, the Peoria storm here that's now near Eureka, Goodfield, places like that, this is organizing rapidly. I don't think there's any tornado on the ground with it right now, but this is starting to get that shape. I think that other analysts on the panel can agree with me. This is starting to get that shape that this could become a bigger tornado at any time now. So if I'm within this tornado warning, I'm getting to my safe place. So if I'm in Woodford, Tazewell, or McLean counties, I'm in a tornado warning here until 3:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time, and that's for a tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. That's for Eureka and Roanoke there that we're continuing to watch the situation unfold. So if I'm in Interstate 39 between mile markers 10 and 28, or Interstate 74 between markers 103 and 114, I'm getting to my safe place right now, as this could drop a tornado at any time. It looks to be strengthening rather rapidly on Doppler radar. As we move back to Arkansas, we're just continuing to watch what's going on here. It does look like these two cells could cycle here. The cell here near Jacksonville, south of Jacksonville, does have that classic hook. One near Georgetown, it does look like it's bowing a little bit, so I'm not sure this is going to be able to organize overly rapidly, but it does have the conditions to do so. So if I'm in west central Woodruff, north central Prairie, or southeastern White counties, I'm getting to my safe place right now. And then if I'm south there near Little Rock, in northwestern Lanoke or northeastern Pulaski counties, I'm getting to my safe place right now as well, as the situation continues to unfold. Looking at the bigger picture, I mean, this is a massive, widespread severe weather event that is currently going on, and we really haven't seen this first wave hit those prime conditions yet. So the fact we've already seen one intense tornado is definitely concerning to me, and I also don't like it that these have definitely gone up as isolated supercells that don't have much interference from other storms. That's rather rare, and to see it in two separate modes on the same day, that's even more rare. So this is a serious situation. It's a rare one, and I hope that everyone is properly prepared as this situation continues to move through.
Absolutely. With this tornado warning storm in Iowa, it's a bit far from the radar, and unfortunately it's got the hail part of the storm between the radar and where a tornado could be, so it's being contaminated a bit by its own hail. It looks all right. It looked a bit better earlier, but that appears to have been due to that hail effect that I've talked about. It's currently produced a lot of significant hail for Blakesburg, well over an inch hail. Geez, 2.75 inches baseball hail just impacted Blakesburg, Iowa. And
Goodness.
That's moving towards Chillicothe and Ottumwa in southeast Iowa. So that tornado warning is primarily for Ottumwa, an agency. But outside of that tornado warning, this baseball-sized hail just impacted this town of Blakesburg and is moving towards Chillicothe.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. So I'd be treating that a lot like a tornado warning right now as well. That's a dangerous situation continuing to unfold up there as well, and numerous supercells here in Iowa. These aren't even really in that high-end parameter space yet. Those are going to be moving into that over the next hour or two. So unfortunately, I think that we are about to witness a very prolific outbreak of tornadic thunderstorms here. The biggest hope here is that they're going to grow upscale into sort of Boeing line segments, which will have more widespread impacts, but the impacts themselves won't be as severe. I think that's our best bet right now if we want to see this not materialize the way it looks like it's going to, but this is looking really bad right now. And I think I'm not the only one that thinks that. I mean, we have discrete supercells up and down this massive, moderate, and high risk at this time.
So we're currently at 2020 UTC, and the peak of the event on models seems to be at 2220Z. So we are 2-3 hours away from the best conditions, and we've already seen multiple tornadoes, at least one of which was likely intense. We could have the next 6 hours be tornadoes from Iowa to Texas, which is an unbelievable situation, and I hope everyone in the levels of warning is taking the action they need to be safe today.
Absolutely agreed. We're going to check in on those storms in Arkansas now. These don't look overly strong, but they still have tornado warnings on them, although I'm not seeing anything that's ringing my alarm bells over here, which is good news. But still, if I am in northwestern Oak or northeastern Pulaski counties, I'm in my safe place right now. And then if I'm also in central, west central Woodruff, north central Prairie, or southeastern White counties, I'm also in my safe place there with a potential tornado and quarter-sized hail as well.
I'd just like to say that I've seen an image from social media of the tornado-warned storm near Monmouth, Illinois, that our chaser is heading to. It is totally rain-wrapped from this guy's position. You can barely tell where the updraft is. It's just a massive sheet of hail and rain, so be careful when approaching that. And particularly if you're under that tornado warning, you will not see it coming. There is a lot of hail and rain, and it's wrapping around the circulation very well. Do not try to see the tornado. Take shelter if you're in that tornado warning.
Yeah, I do want to note here that we do have some storms, some kind of, I feel like some destructive interference from a storm to the south of our right-moving supercell near Eureka in Illinois, and I think that's kind of stopping things from getting really serious for now. However, this could become more favorable, as it does look like this has resulted in a surge of inflow as things have mixed to the surface. So warm, moist air is now surging in to that supercell. And as of now, it looks like it's converting that to very large hail. However, in the near future, that could convert to a potential tornadic threat. So I'd still be looking out for this. This is still a serious situation, and I think, unfortunately, we're going to see many more tornadoes like this today.
Also worth noting that train spotters have reported 2-inch hail with this supercell near Eureka and that's currently affecting Roanoke and Benson, Illinois.
Goodness.
So hail of at least 2-inch confirmed by a trained weather spotter. The hail is so large that it's showing up on the same program we use to check for tornado debris.
I hate to
large hail.
I hate to break in here, but we do with that tornado warning there near Eureka. That is now a confirmed tornado. A trained weather spotter, as of 3 minutes ago, confirmed a tornado south of Eureka with that storm. So while it doesn't look very good on radar, that inflow is surging, and this is in effect until 3:45 for Woodford, northeastern Tazewell, and northwestern McLean counties. And now there is a confirmed tornado on the ground with this, heading towards Socorro, Panola, El Paso, and Kappa in the state of Illinois. And again, this has everything it needs to begin strengthening rather quickly. So we'll see what it does, but there is a confirmed tornado now on the ground with this storm.
Yep, that is an observed tornado east of Eureka.
Absolutely the case. We still have numerous tornado warnings in place. We currently have 5. But yeah, we do have now a confirmed tornado there near Eureka with what looks to be a rapidly improving.
Well, what's going on with this storm right now is showers are firing to its south, and they are then merging with the main supercell. And once this process finishes, it's very likely to produce a strong tornado. This has been observed previously. It happened with the Rolling Fork storm last week, and with that storm later when it moved towards Amory, Mississippi. Showers fed into it from the south. It got delayed while it was ingesting those storms. Once it finished and once they stopped coming into it, immediately produced a tornado. This is likely to happen today, particularly given how favorable and dangerous the environment is. But that's, of course, assuming that the storms do stop feeding into it at some point. If it keeps having storms shoved into it, it can't organize enough. It remains immature. And that could limit its tornado potential in the near future. But of course, as soon as it stops sucking those showers in, very dangerous situation.
Absolutely. And again, confirmation of a tornado on the ground with that storm there near Eureka. And I know, Jake, you guys are heading towards this storm in more of a radar hole near Monmouth. It's currently warned heading towards Galesburg. Do we have any updates on the situation with you guys, where you're headed, what you're doing?
Not able to talk to us right now, I think, but I do have some information to pass on.
Yes.
CBS Little Rock, via an emergency manager, they are treating the tornado in Little Rock as a mass casualty situation.
Oh, goodness.
Now, in this context, a casualty is not a fatality. It is an injury or fatality, but that means a lot of people are believed to be injured in Little Rock following this likely intense tornado, and they are activating all resources possible to respond to the situation.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, dangerous situation continuing to unfold there. But yeah, I mean, we have numerous supercells here that are going to be more than capable of producing tornadoes if they haven't been already. Let's move back to Arkansas here with our 2 tornado-warned storms. And this is what we're looking at here. We have our storm there that is now east of Jacksonville. That looks substantially weaker, and then yeah, our cell that produced that intense tornado. It does have a bit of rotation there, almost a bounded weak ecoregion looking signature, but the structure of the storm itself is lackluster, so I don't know what to think. But that's for west central Woodruff, north central Prairie, and southeastern White counties. And there's a radar indicated tornado, so we'll see what happens. If I'm in Georgetown, though, I'm getting to my safe place here. His rotation does look to be increasing on this storm again. So we'll see what ends up happening here. But if I'm in Georgetown, I'm getting to my safe place. If I'm near Lanoke, north of Lanoke, I'm also getting to my safe place. If anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please feel free to ask us, and we'll be more than glad to answer them as the severe weather event continues to unfold.
Yep, no questions right now, but it is still a very dangerous situation. We have 5 tornado warnings ongoing at this time. 1 for Iowa, 2 for separate storms in Illinois, and 2 for separate storms in Arkansas. I haven't talked about Arkansas for a little while. Thankfully, it seems that the second storm that formed behind the first one has not produced a significant tornado. It may have produced a weak tornado, but nothing that's been confirmed on radar or by spotters. The supercell to the northeast of it that produced the first tornado that produced so much damage in Little Rock, that looked pretty bad for a while, but now it seems to be coming back, which is alarming.
Yeah, certainly. We did look at that not too long ago here. But yeah, no, it's a dangerous situation unfolding. Let's take a look at what's going on down there. As there is now a new tornado warning in the state of Arkansas. This is on the southern side of the state, with a less well-defined piece of rotation, but still a piece of rotation nonetheless. So if I'm in Little River, Hempstead, Silver, or Howard counties, you're in a tornado warning until 4:15 p.m. in the state of Arkansas. So if I'm in Saratoga, this will be hitting you around 3:35, Mineral Springs and Tollett around 3:40, Washington around 3:50, Belvin's around 4 o'clock. So this is also going to be around Bright Star, McCaskill, and Ozan as time does go on here, but that's a new tornado warning in the state of Arkansas with another supercell thunderstorm. And the amount of supercells I'm seeing today is freakishly high. I'm seeing a lot of supercells today. And we also have storms firing there east of the Dallas-Fort Worth metro, producing severe winds and hail.
I mean, there are too many supercells to count right now, because by the time you finish counting them all, there'll probably be another one that has fired up somewhere, and you have to check at least 5 radar sites to get within range of them all. The only difference between between today and a day like the super outbreaks is, while this is a very wide area today, only some of the storms are producing tornadoes or even capable of producing tornadoes. Most of them are severe thunderstorms, and they are warned for damaging winds and hail. But on a super outbreak day, 90% of the tornado storms produce a tornado, and we definitely don't have that today. So very grateful that despite the wide coverage of intense storms, they're not all producing tornadoes, and it shows how much worse this situation would be if it were on that level of event. But instead of severe thunderstorm warnings, they're all tornado warnings, and that would be dozens.
Yeah.
2 dozen, which is insane to think about.
Absolutely. New tornado warning in place there in Arkansas. This is for Prairie and Roanoke counties until 4 p.m. This is an extension of the previous warning there, with what does look to be that organizing supercell there near Jacksonville. And this is in place until 4 p.m. So if I'm in Cabot, Hanson, Barrettsville, Thurman, Parnell, Haley, Butlerville, Childers, Hickory Plains, Woodlawn, Center Point, Fairview, and Lonoke County or Furlough, it's time to get to my safe place right here, right now. It's an extremely dangerous situation continuing to unfold. And yeah, that supercell, while it doesn't have much rotation on it right now, it does look like on reflectivity it is going to start organizing here rather quickly. Let's move back to the confirmed tornado in Illinois. To the team, do we have any information on that confirmed tornado?
I have nothing on it besides the fact that it is an observed tornado, and it continues to ingest showers and thunderstorms from the south, which makes it look pretty messy on radar, but it is a massive storm. If you take in the scale of this supercell, the amount of storm updrafts it's ingesting, it's a very beefy storm, and it's 40 miles across, which is rare. And it will likely continue to grow as it continues drawing these storms in from the south.
Absolutely the case, and it does look as if that process might be over here pretty soon with some substantial inflow. So this is a tornado warning in effect until 3:45 for Woodford, northeastern Tazewell, and northwestern McLean counties. So this is for a damaging tornado and 2-inch hail here. And this includes Interstate 39 between mile markers 10 and 28. So if I'm within that region, I'd be getting to my safe place. There's even a severe thunderstorm warning beyond that for Livingston and LaSalle counties until 4 p.m., with tennis ball-sized hail being the primary hazard for that. If I'm in that warning, I'm going to be watching out too. But yeah, I mean, there's a real inflow surge with that storm. It looks like it's probably going to start strengthening here pretty quickly. I would not be surprised if we saw this rapidly intensify towards a more tornadic direction in the near future, unfortunately. Goodness gracious.
Just some more information coming in from earlier. I don't know if I've mentioned this previously, but the tornado that went through Little Rock at point had a horizontal vorticity.
Wow.
Which is a feature only noted in upper end tornadoes.
I'd like to note our storm near Saratoga in southern Arkansas. That couplet has strengthened rapidly since the issuance of the tornado warning. If there wasn't a tornado on the ground before, there might be one on the ground now. There's no confirmation at this time. However, if I'm in Tillett or Saratoga heading towards Ozone right now, I am concerned with this storm that looks to be rapidly strengthening on the southern side of Arkansas there, southwestern Arkansas in particular. So just wanted to give a heads up on that. Looks like that velocity signature is strengthening rather rapidly.
We have had a new tornado warning issued in Iowa.
A new one?
Yes.
I'm seeing an update. I'm not seeing a new one yet. We'll see.
Or maybe it's an extension of this one.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. There is a new warning there. Just loaded for me. So, yeah, it's a dangerous situation continuing to unfold with this. But if I am now in Cullick, Washington, or Jefferson counties in the state of Iowa, I'm getting to my safe place right now as I'm in a tornado warning. That's for a tornado and baseball-sized hail. So that's no joke there. Tornado, baseball-sized hail. So if I'm in Martinburg, I'm in my safe place. It's going to be getting to you here in about 4 minutes. If If I'm in Hayerville, Ollie, Penkin, or Linby is hitting you at about 345. Surrey, Lancaster, Killick County Expo, and your Gogus County Park, you're getting hit around 350 with Harper, Lake Belvedere Park, and Turland around 355. That's when you're getting hit. With South English, Kinross, and Kyoto getting hit as well, possibly by this storm, this robust supercell thunderstorm that does look to be having some aliasing issues now with that couplet, which means that it could be starting to strengthen rather rapidly. This is what we were fearing was going to happen. It does look like we are starting to see these couplets strengthen on these storms a decent bit. If we check on our confirmed tornado warning here, I mean, the storm, it does not look tornadic right now. However, again, we've said there's a confirmed tornado with this. I'm not sure how strong it is, but the storm is currently looking like it's preparing to drop a stronger tornado. So we'll see what it can do there. But again, a damaging tornado and 2-inch hail in this warning for Woodford, northeastern Tazewell, and northwestern McLean counties at this time. We have 7 tornado warnings in place at the moment.
Yes, remains an active situation. I'm just trying to verify information about the Little Rock tornado, and I can't find the source that someone quoted to me, but it's gone through the media they're watching. I won't repeat it at this time till I'm able to confirm it myself, but it remains a unfortunate situation with a lot of damage coming in.
Absolutely, it's unfortunate there. It does look like a tornado warning that is in place for northeastern Warren County. The storm has moved out of the area, so they're probably going to let that expire pretty soon. But still, that storm, it's starting to get that kind of hook shape that we don't really like to see, because that means that this could be in the beginning stages of becoming a more robust supercell thunderstorm. And again, this is a part of Wave 1. Wave 2 is on the way, though, through this area as well. So it's not like if you get through these storms.
There's supercells ongoing in Missouri that are going to move into the high risk in Illinois. And these are actually expected to be much stronger than the first wave of storms.
Yep, and the first wave is already capable of producing tornadic activity. So we'll see what happens there. It does look like the storm near El Paso is kind of converting to more of a Boeing segment, a wind threat here, which is good news. However, we'll see if this can manage to have an embedded supercell that goes a bit crazy within it as well. We know that happens sometimes. So
absolutely does.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, my goodness. We have all kinds of severe thunderstorm warnings in place now as well, so I'd like to go over those. We have one here east of Des Moines. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 1.25-inch hail. As we move south, we have an arc of severe thunderstorms with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts stretching from near Milan, Missouri, up to towards Centerville and Alba there in Iowa. We have another severe thunderstorm here with golf ball-sized hail that's moved through Paris, Missouri, heading towards New London and Hannibal. We have another severe thunderstorm with 1 3/4-inch hail near Columbia right now. It's golf balls, and that's moving towards Mexico, Oxvassi, and Martinsburg. And then to the south of that, we have our 60-mile-per-hour wind gust storms, 1-inch hail, 1.5-inch hail near California and Tipton, Missouri there. Moving south, we also have some severe storms there near Springfield. This is up I-44 near Conway. We have a storm with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch diameter hail. And we have our supercells in Little Rock with our 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 1-inch hail. And then as we move towards Dallas-Fort Worth, they are near Mexa again. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch hail with some of those storms as well. So this is a very active, widespread, severe weather outbreak ongoing here, and it does look like an outbreak of tornadoes is certainly possible as well.
I do not like the look of this storm east of Little Rock. It's got a very big hook on it, and its inflow is starting to increase.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
If something doesn't happen to disrupt this process in the next 20 minutes, it's going to produce a strong tornado. Hopefully it doesn't manage to get to that point, but in around 20 minutes' time, this storm is moving at 60 miles an hour, so that's a mile a minute. So in 20 minutes, it will have passed through Des Arc and will be moving towards Cotton Plant or Georgetown, that area. But you're not in the tornado warning right now in Des Arc. That's East Arkansas. But if you're in Des Arc, I would be taking shelter because this tornado warning will be extended to your location shortly, and the storm it has that look.
Yeah, it most certainly does. If I'm in Hickory Plains, I'm in this tornado warning. I'm in my safe place in case something happens where this takes the northward turn. If I'm behind that, if I'm in Little Rock, if I'm in Jacksonville, Lanoke, feeling pretty good right now about this not being a huge deal. You're not currently in any warnings for now. However, more storms are on the way, so this is not over yet for you. As this atmosphere continues to ramp up. But yeah, no, that storm near Hickory Plains on the southern end of things is looking like it could have a very serious look to it and begin strengthening rather rapidly soon.
Seeing some footage from Arkansas Department of Transportation, when the tornado came across I-430 in Little Rock, it damaged the Central Reservation metal sheet barricade that's meant to stop vehicles going through it. It tore up part of that and put a power line on the interstate. It's closed in both directions where the tornado crossed. I don't know how strong this particular barricade is. Some of them are bulletproof and some of them are fairly weak. But it's still unsettling to see something that's designed to stop Arctics going through being damaged by the tornado.
Absolutely, and there we go again. South of Hickory Plains is where our tornado there in Arkansas potentially is. If I'm in Des Arc, I am in a severe thunderstorm warning for 1 1/4 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So I'm already indoors. I'm already taking my severe thunderstorm precautions. But if you are, if you're there, I'd be preparing. I think a tornado warning is going to be in place for you soon. And unfortunately, I think that this radar signature
Thomas,
could
I have
get
to
a lot
break in
stronger.
here. We have
Yes.
a pretty large debris ball that is developing here in Iowa.
Oh goodness. All right, let's take a look at that. That's a confirmed tornado. Now let's see here. Which storm
I'm
is
looking
this?
off of Des Moines KDMX.
KDMX.
Weather spotters confirmed tornado, damaging tornado and baseball-sized hail moving to the northeast at 55 miles an hour.
Oh goodness
This is
gracious.
impacting Heydrich, Packwood, Ollie, Hayesville, Sigourney, Harper, Kyoto, South English, Kinross, Westchester, Wellman, North English, Keswick, Delta. Through
Goodness
Ottumwa.
gracious.
We do not know if it produced damage in Ottumwa, but it was there recently, and the velocity signature looked pretty similar.
I do want
You
to
can
point
see
out
the
that
very large tornado.
yeah, let me make sure I'm not muted. Okay, the TDS came up only within 2 frames, so this is a very serious situation. It just touched down and it's already producing some very significant damage.
Yeah, my goodness. This is a damaging tornado with baseball-sized hail, and this is a weather spotters confirmed tornado. So we do have spotters on it, and this thing is strong. This thing is near Hendrick, Iowa. This thing is nasty. This thing is serious. So we're going to continue to see what happens here. But that is a strong tornado on the ground in southern Iowa. Big time debris ball there. Would not be shocked to see an upgrade there from the Weather Service to a particularly dangerous situation. Wording here in short order is a confirmed damaging dangerous tornado is now on the ground there in Iowa. So this is the main story right now. And again, we have that cell organizing to the south as well in Arkansas. So we're going to be swapping between those two. But if I'm in northeastern Wapello County and southeastern Iowa, this is a confirmed weather spotter confirmed tornado. And oh my goodness, the velocity has just gotten much, much stronger in the latest frame. From what I've seen, maybe some aliasing issues have gotten out of the way so we can see it better. But that is a strong tornado on the ground heading towards Martinsburg. If I'm in Hendrick, if I'm in Martinsburg, if I'm in Hayesville, Kyoto, I am getting to my safe place right here, right now. This is a strong tornado currently on the ground with a deep debris ball at this time. So this is a serious tornado on the ground heading up north right now. We need to take this extremely seriously. if in this warning. So, yeah, goodness gracious. If I'm in Keota, Harper, Sergany, Hayesville, Hendrick, time to get to that safe place right here, right now. A damaging, dangerous tornado currently on the ground at this time.
This storm has a debris ball on reflectivity.
Yeah, there it is. And this is kind of in a radar hole, so it's kind of difficult to see. So the
We're
fact
seeing
that
a debris ball on reflectivity 8,000 feet above the ground.
I can tell you that is a large stovepipe tornado. I'm seeing confirmation of images. I can't show them here, but there is a large stovepipe tornado on the ground now, heading in the general direction of Hedrick, Ali, areas like that, as this extremely dangerous situation does continue. So that is a damaging, dangerous tornado on the ground there, nearing Hendrick at this time. So we're going to continue to keep you posted. If you guys know anyone near Hendrick, near Hayesville, Sergany, up there in Iowa in this severe risk today, share this with them. Let them know that this is happening as this extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold. My goodness. Yeah, there it is. That's the second big tornado of the day, it looks like.
And that means both high-risk areas have now produced large, likely intense stovepipe tornadoes.
Yeah, this is right on the border of the high risk and the moderate. Let me see here. Yeah, this is just moving into the high risk. And downstream, the big city to watch here is Iowa City. So if I'm in Iowa City, I'm in the high risk and this storm is heading for me. You're not in a warning right now, but just downstream, you need to be watching this very closely. But if I'm in Hendrick, if I'm in Martinsburg in particular, I'm getting to my safe place right now as a large, damaging, dangerous tornado is currently on the ground.
I do also want to just quickly make sure that you have a look at the Arkansas tornado warning, the one east of Little Rock. That thing has got a gnarly hook. It wraps about 270 degrees around a Banaweka region. So it would not surprise me if this thing puts down in at any moment. So if you're in Des Arc, especially, I'd be moving to shelter at this point. There's no point in waiting.
The tornado in Iowa is no longer a stovepipe, it is a wedge tornado.
Oh, goodness gracious. And yeah, we have a rapidly tightening couplet that's likely going to warrant an extension of this tornado warning in Arkansas. So I'm just going to go over this real quick. We will move right back to that. I'm sure that'll be a PDS tornado warning or maybe even straight to a tornado emergency.
This is moved into Martinsburg or just east of Martinsburg. Hopefully it missed the town. We are quite a way up with the radar, so we can't say exactly where it is, but it's moved dangerously close to Martinsburg.
Yeah, but there it is.
Everyone got to their safe places in time.
Storm near Des Arc there, now a classic supercell. That's going to need an extension of a warning here soon. And then as we do continue to look at those tornado warned storms there, there's one now in Texas as well as Arkansas. So I do want to look at these here shortly. But before we do that, I do need to go back here. And we do need to look at this damaging, dangerous tornado that's currently on the ground.
It is now PDS.
PDS tornado warning in place. That is of no surprise. But yeah, there it is. PDS tornado warning currently in effect with this storm as a confirmed large, damaging, dangerous tornado currently moving toward Hendrick. Now, if I'm in Hendrick, the radar here is not very good, so this could be a fair ways off. That's why these tornado warnings are so large. If I'm anywhere in this tornado warning, I need to be getting to my safe place right here, right now. Is a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning is currently in place. So if I am in Keokuk or northwestern Washington or northwestern Jefferson counties, I'm getting to my safe place right here, right now, as a particularly dangerous situation is unfolding near Hendrick, Iowa, with a damaging, dangerous wedge tornado there. That is near Hayesville and Ollie, Sigourney and Lancaster, and Killett County Expo, as well as Lake Belvedere Park, Yorgonis County Park, Talleyrand, Harper, Keota, Webster, South English, and Kinross. So again, this is a dangerous situation as another intense tornado appears to be on the ground now. Good, that is a massive debris ball.
This is a massive wedge tornado. I'm seeing so it's partially rain wrapped as well. It's hard to see. I'm seeing footage from someone who's a couple of miles away from it. This thing looks a mile wide with a ground scraping wall cloud.
Yeah, my goodness, I'm seeing the photos.
Incredible.
Yeah, this is likely going to be upgraded to a tornado emergency shortly. I don't like saying that very often, but that's just the way it is right now. There is a large, violent, damaging, dangerous tornado on the ground, and I think the word violent is warranted here.
It has a debris ball to 60 dBz, which is a rare feat, but it's happening at 8,000 feet above the ground, which is the lowest we can see with the radar from Des Moines. If you want to see the photos we're talking about, we're posting them on our Discord, and you can join through the link in the description. Obviously, we're not able to share them on due to copyright reasons.
Absolutely the case. This is an extremely dangerous situation that continues to unfold with time. I think that to say this is an intense tornado would be a pretty accurate statement here. Again, as we track out the storm, let me get the storm motions here that are proper. You can see there that giant debris ball near Martinsburg, and this could be over Martinsburg right now. We'll see when the bias is corrected. But if I'm in Hayesville, Sigourney, Harper, Keota, you gotta go. You gotta go to your safe place right now. This is a large wedge tornado. This thing could be nearly a mile wide that is heading in your general direction. We know it's down. We know it's on the ground. It's just a matter of getting that information out to you guys. But, just giant tornado currently on the ground there. Absolute monster of a tornado currently on the ground there with that confirmed tornado, PDS. I don't know what to say other than this is going to continue to escalate rapidly.
And the debris ball just got even more intense. This is an incredible situation. You can't tell where the hail ends and the tornado starts because it's all the same color.
I'm not getting it quite that way. I think my color table is a bit better defined, but I see what you mean. The debris ball's massive, absolutely massive. And the couplet is also very strong. So, my goodness.
Yes, the couplet remains large and strong. And this is moving in the direction of Iowa City in the long run. This storm is moving at 50 miles an hour. So in 50 miles, it will be in or north of Iowa City, depending on what track it takes. So hopefully this storm dies out before it gets there, but we are expecting long tracking storms today, and it could well be still producing tornadoes by the time it makes that point. So everyone in Iowa City and along the interstate up to Cedar Rapids and west to Williamsburg, and even east and south of Iowa City a little ways. This is your advance warning. There is a large wedge tornado, supercell, an hour southwest of you. It is moving rapidly towards your location, and while you are not currently under a tornado warning, it is entirely possible that it is still producing tornadoes when it makes it to you. Once again, that will be in an hour's time. Start making advanced plans. If you're not paying attention to anything actively and you're just checking in, start paying attention and don't stop paying attention until the storm's past you. If you know someone in the area, anywhere near Iowa City, up to Cedar Rapids, west, east, south, if you know anyone from this location, call them, send them a text, send them a message, contact them, let them know a dangerous storm is moving towards their location. And once again, they have less than an hour before it arrives.
Absolutely the case. I hate to interrupt, but we do now have confirmation from Trey Greenwood, who is Convective Chronicles, the guy who runs Convective Chronicles. He does say that he has observed a tornado near Desark. So that supercell there has dropped a tornado. The Weather Service warning currently has radar indicated rotation, but again, we know from a credible source this is confirmed. So this is for southwestern Woodruff, northern Prairie, northwestern Monroe, and south central White counties until 4:30 p.m. There in the state of Arkansas, that tornado warning. And that cell is getting stronger and stronger, that classic supercell. So if I'm in Desark, it's time to get to my safe place. If I'm in Cotton Plant, it's time to get to my safe place. And then, cells are just going up there in southern Arkansas as well. We have cells all over the state. So, and we also have some supercells in Texas now going up with tornado warnings as well. So all kinds of chaos going on here. But if I'm in Tyler, Texas, I'm in a tornado warning right now too. So
we did
if
have a mesoscale discussion for the wedge tornado in southeast Iowa. The mesoscale discussion does include Iowa City. They say ongoing tornado. Observations suggest upper end EF2 to EF3. So that's a mesoscale discussion saying the tornado is likely strong to intense north of Ottumwa, moving in the direction of Iowa City. And you are inside that mesoscale discussion as it covers the next hour. So once again, this is further call to start preparing and be aware that a dangerous storm is moving towards you. And given the environmental conditions today, it could well still be producing a strong tornado when it makes it to you.
absolutely the case. I'd like to note that we do have that debris ball that remains there that's rather large, but we also have numerous tornado warnings going up north of that as well, heading in the general direction of Cedar Rapids with robust couplets on them. There's one near Malcolm here. That's for eastern Palchik County until 4:30 p.m. And we have another one near Toledo for southeastern Tama County and central Iowa as well. So these could also put down strong tornadoes at any moment now, as well as that storm near Desark. That one there near Malcolm has a solid hook. That is a robust looking storm that could get very dangerous very quickly. So unfortunately, we are seeing a rapidly evolving situation with numerous potential tornadic problems here, to say the very least. So again, our main focus is that storm now that is south and east of Hayesville, going between Ollie and Hayesville right now, heading towards Harper. That wedge tornado, that large organized wedge tornado, is currently on the ground. And again, this is a particularly dangerous situation, according to the Weather Service here, with a weather spotter confirmed large, dangerous wedge tornado currently on the ground.
Just to give a comprehensive look elsewhere, I mean, yes, we do have the PDS tornado warning, but there are other tornado warnings outside of Iowa. There are two separate cells in Arkansas, one just to the northeast of Little Rock, another one heading toward Arkadelphia. Then in Texas we have two tornado warnings now, one heading toward Texarkana and one heading toward Tyler and White House. So this is really showing just how the bimodal setup is going. We have these strong tornadoes, or in this case, tornado, occurring in the northern mode at this time, but we also have these tornado potentials all popping up in the south as well, with a good gap between the two, stretching across the southern half of Missouri. That might not last for very long, though. There are severe thunderstorm warnings popping up near Fort Smith, and those severe thunderstorm warnings are probably going to extend north towards Springfield as well soon. So realistically, this entire corridor, stretching from the Iowa-Minnesota border, really, all the way down into the almost the Dallas and Waco areas, all this entire region is just chock full of energy, and these storms are glad to take advantage of it. So if you're anywhere in this area, you need to be on your toes. If you get under any sort of warning, you need to move to shelter immediately. There's no waiting.
Absolutely the case. PDS tornado warning does continue here with that wedge tornado that we've seen up in Iowa. So we're going to continue to keep you posted on that to some degree, but this tornado warning is now in place until 4:15 for Edbrook and northeastern Washington counties, and this is a particularly dangerous situation as a large, damaging, dangerous tornado is on the ground, and it is confirmed by weather spotters. If I'm in Sigary, Kolu County Expo, it's hitting you right now. It looks like it's going to go a bit south of you, which is good news. However, still, this is a serious tornado. Very serious situation there indeed. We're also seeing here, in rather serious fashion, Lake Bayvilla Deer Park, Intrugus County Park, and Tallyland also getting hit here around 4:05. And this is going to move towards Harper, Keota, Webster, South English, and Kinross with time as well. And again, that extremely dangerous situation just continues to unfold. And we have tornado warnings going up everywhere. A confirmed tornado now there near Malcolm, Brooklyn. This is a broadcast media confirmed damaging tornado near Victor and Victor Hartwig. It's getting hit around 4:10 p.m., including Interstate 80 between mile markers 87 and 204. So another confirmed tornado in the state of Iowa. This one near Brooklyn and Hartwig in the state of Iowa. And again, that is for Paushwick County in central Iowa as well. So that is a confirmed tornado on the ground right there in the state of Iowa. So now we have 2 confirmed tornadoes, one of them in particular being a large, violent, damaging, dangerous tornado heading in the general direction of Harper right now. So numerous tornadoes on the ground, lots to keep track of. No tornado warnings in Illinois right now. That's the good news. However, we are seeing in Iowa this rather substantial tornado on the ground, and as we head in the general direction of Arkansas, we're also seeing some substantiated tornadic thunderstorms as well. The tornadic thunderstorm there near Belvin's right now, not looking overly strong. However, it does look somewhat considerable. And there we go, another confirmed tornado. Is that in the state of Iowa as well? Let's see here. No, that's an extension of the previous warning there. So this is for that same confirmed tornado we just went over. So this is for Benton and Iowa counties until 4:45 for a damaging tornado and quarter-sized hail. So if you're in Victor, this will be at you around 4:10, Ladora around 4:15, Belpaine, Luzerne around 4:20. So extremely dangerous situation there. But a bounded weak echo region and a strengthening velocity signature, all indications that this could become a strong tornado at any moment as well, given the favorable environment. But again, our eyes are all on that wedge tornado there, heading towards Kyoto at this time, and that still looks very strong on the velocity signatures as well. Yeah, we got tornado warnings going up all over the place. Go on.
Yeah, this tornado is incredible. It is a large, likely intense, if not violent tornado. It's moving rapidly around 50 miles an hour across portions of southeastern Iowa. It's moving directly towards the town of Harper right now. I'm hoping with all that I have that this does not make it to Harper or Kyoto, but this could well remain on the ground for a long time, and if it does lift, it could very easily put down again. But right now we have some insane radar readings. We've hit 141 miles an hour on one side of the tornado, and for those who aren't familiar with radar, it tops out at 142. You can't get a value higher than 142 with the radar we use. Sometimes it can be calculated manually from things like DAOs, the ones that drive around on trucks. But 142 is the limit for what we're using, and we have 141. So this is almost maxed out. You don't see that too often. Now, it's not as strong as the other direction, and this is partly because it's moving towards the radar site, but still, that's 155, 160 miles an hour from one to the other. Very intense tornado. And once again, it is moving towards Iowa City and places north and west of there. And you have 50 minutes now. 50 minutes tops, probably less than that.
Okay, would you also recommend that people in Cedar Rapids start moving to shelter as well, given that they're in the crosshairs of not one but 2 different tornadoes at this point?
Cedar Rapids is going to be put into a tornado warning in the next half hour, if something doesn't change, given that a large tornado warning was just issued going up to the west of Cedar Rapids. So Atkins, Norway, Walford, Newell, Schellsburg, Urbana, these are all towns to the west of Cedar Rapids, and they're now under a tornado warning.
Yeah, I mean, we have tornado warnings going up everywhere, so I just want to go over these top to bottom, so that way we can kind of look at these. First, tornado warnings first is the most recent one that's been issued. This is for Pike, Adams, Rawls, and Marion counties, with Pike and Adams counties there in the state of Missouri. Pike and Adams counties in Illinois, Rawls and Marion counties in the state of Missouri. This is for a tornado and baseball-sized hail, with that baseball-sized hail being spotter reported and radar indicated rotation warranting the tornado warning. This is going to be near Fall Creek around 4:10, Payson around 4:15, Barry around 4:20. We have a new tornado warning that just came in during that time. This one's farther north in Iowa, and this is a PDS tornado warning that extends on the past one. This almost includes the city of Williamsburg. This is for Killick, Johnston, Washington, and Iowa counties until 4:45. And again, this is a particularly dangerous situation according to the Weather Service. So, this is Weather Spotter confirmed. If I'm in South English, Kinross, Kyoto, Wellman, Keona, Amish, or Holbrook, I'm getting to my safe place right now. Wendland, Fairtown, and Sharon Center also in this tornado warning. And again, that's for baseball-sized hail, as well as a strong tornado that is currently on the ground at this time. So this is a very strong tornado. This is definitely something of concern, to say the very least. We're going to continue to watch as the situation evolves right here on Advective Weather. Let's take a look at some more of those tornado warnings in place as we move north. Here's the tornado warning with that storm heading towards Cedar Rapids. Now, it should be clarified, Cedar Rapids is not in a tornado warning at this time. However, Cedar Rapids is looking like they're well on the way to being in one if things continue like this. So southern Benton, northwestern Iowa counties, you're in a tornado warning until 4:45 p.m. with a damaging tornado and quarter-sized hail that is broadcast media confirmed at this time. And then as we take a look at the next tornado warning, this is the one behind it for the same storm was issued. So this is for Powell County until 4:30. The storm is still within that. And again, that is a confirmed tornado on the ground according to broadcast media. Our next tornado warning way south there in the state of Arkansas. So here's that cell. Now looking rather robust. We do have a tornado warning for Clark and Pike counties until 4:30 for a tornado and quarter-sized hail. We have another tornado warning there that's in place for northeastern Hempstead and northwestern Nevada counties until 4:15, as 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are also possible with that, a tornado there as well. So that's an extremely dangerous situation. Continues to unfold over there. We also have a tornado warning in the state of Texas near Tyler. This is for southern Smith County until 4:30 p.m., and that is again for a tornado and quarter-sized hail. And as we continue to move through, we do have a storm heading towards Texarkana. Also a tornado warned, so that's for south central Little River and Bowie counties with a tornado and ping pong ball sized hail. As we move back north, we have a tornado warning here in place near Des Arc. This is for for southwestern Woodruff, northeastern Prairie, northern Monroe counties with a tornado and radar indicated rotation being the primary threats there. But lots going on, numerous tornado warnings currently in place at this time. We're going to continue to track them, and if we can, we also want to track some of these severe thunderstorm warnings. None of them are destructive. Some of them are considerable. Stay tuned to your local weather alerts for severe thunderstorm warnings. Those are more widespread, less likely to need play-by-play analysis.
Have we gone over the recent tornado warning that's in place for Hannibal and places north and east?
In place for Hannibal and points north and east. In Missouri, yes.
Okay.
But my goodness.
It looks very impressive, even though it's ages away from any radar sites, and it has had trained spotters reporting baseball-sized hail. So whether or not there's a tornado, there is an observed threat from damaging hail.
Yeah, that supercell does look impressive as it does move into Illinois here, so we're going to continue to track that. But again, the major story continues to be this wedge tornado on the ground in Iowa. And is that still a wedge tornado on the ground in Iowa?
I have seen nothing to suggest it isn't. It hasn't weakened on radar, and we're still getting photos of people showing it was a wedge. Obviously, we don't know the exact time that they were from, but it's likely still a strong tornado on the ground, even if it's shrunk in size slightly.
Yeah, and it looks like, unfortunately, we might even have twins. We have a brand new CC drop that's quite deep that was just south of the previous one with another couplet, and they kind of merged into this massive debris ball. But I think we might have twins on the ground with this.
You think it's cycled?
I think it might be cycling, but it looks like we have two tornadoes on the ground at once, both with very strong rotational signatures. One's cyclonic and one's anticyclonic. This is very rare and impressive.
So Thomas, if you look off of KDVN Quad Cities radar, you can actually see. I can pick out at least 2, possibly even 3 different couplets there. It's kind of making once you include Harbor, kind of like a square. Obviously, there's still the main couplet, which has not gone away, but it definitely is.
Yeah, you're right. The original couplet. Well, there may have briefly been an anticyclonic tornado ahead of the first one, but it looks like it's definitely cycling. This is incredible. If the radar is correct, there are twin tornadoes on the ground, and one of them is anticyclonic.
And it's heading towards Keota at this time, and it's going to be heading towards Wellman after that. And again, that's a giant debris ball on that storm as well. And again, 2 very clear, maybe even 3 clear, distinct couplets with this storm. And yeah, I mean, it's still no evidence to suggest that we don't still have a large wedge tornado on the ground here. This extremely dangerous situation does continue.
I don't know if I'm allowed. I'm gonna put this in text chat. I just saw something very impressive on a Storm Chasers stream. I'm gonna put in the text chat so y'all can see what's going on.
Yeah, we're not going to be allowed to show that. However, we can look at it and then kind of relay that information to the viewers and maybe even send them in that direction so they can see what we're seeing.
Yes,
Confirmation of twin tornadoes. We do indeed have twin tornadoes.
Yeah, I thought I saw that.
From Vince Whaley's stream, he actually just had one of them cross probably less than 300 yards from his vehicle.
Oh my goodness.
Right in front of him. So very nearly a 0 meter to tornado unintentionally there, which, as we learned from Rolling Fork, is never a good thing. So I'm glad that he's okay. But definitely shows just how volatile the situation is out there.
That extremely dangerous situation continues there in the state of Iowa, and there it is. Yeah, we do have twins on the ground right now there with that supercell. That is a nut cell, and it's the kind of thing where you talk about the cell of the day. I'm not sure there's going to be one cell of the day here. But we're going to keep on keeping an eye on things. There are lots of tornado warnings. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 tornado warnings are currently in effect right now. That is how busy things currently are across the nation.
Just wow. I am blown away by what's going on. I definitely am on the firm believer that the upgrades today to the double barrel high risk was absolutely the right call here. These storms are some of the most impressive that I've seen recently, at least. Like we definitely seen stronger, but but in terms of the sheer number of storms that are as strong as their sisters, it's just insane.
It's a big change from last week's event in Rolling Fork, where we had one big storm and there was one other storm producing tornadoes. We have multiple storms producing strong tornadoes at the same time. So we have 6 tornado warnings in Iowa for 3 different storms. We currently have 1 tornado warning for a storm that is crossing into Illinois from Missouri. And we have a line of tornado warnings from northeastern Arkansas into northeastern Texas. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tornado warnings, count them off, in Arkansas and Texas at this time.
Absolutely. This extremely dangerous situation continues. Yes, Rishi?
I do want to point out that the tornado warning for the Iowa tornado storm, the report now officially states that reports indicate 2 tornadoes on the ground in this area. So the National Weather Service out of Quad Cities has put in writing that there probably were 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time.
I mean, like, we've seen a photo of 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time. And as we said, radar suggests that the second tornado was anticyclonic. And given that in the photo it touches the ground, that suggests it might have been a significant anticyclonic tornado, which is incredibly rare. And those don't happen very often, but when they do, they're often associated with strong to not even they're commonly associated with violent main tornadoes. And we can confirm that a wedge tornado is still on the ground at this time. It's live on Vince Welty's stream. He got dangerously close to this storm. I wouldn't recommend anyone take the action he did. He got far too close. But he's doing his best to keep up with it now, and it is a large wedge tornado with violent motion.
Yeah, that thing is gigantic. And it continues its movement here. It's currently near Kyoto. and it's moving northward. That debris ball is less defined just because it's difficult to see on radar. However, a tornado warning remains in place until 4:45 p.m. for northeastern Keurig, southwestern Johnson, northwestern Washington, and southeastern Iowa counties. Again, that's a particularly dangerous situation there. So if I'm in Wellman, this is getting to me around 4:20. Kelowna, Amish, Hullbrook around 4:25. Wendlam, Frytown, Sharon Center around 4:30, and that also has baseball-sized hail in it. We have another tornado here, a tornado warned storm to the north here, and they still say that that is a broadcast media confirmed tornado up there, heading in the general direction of Cedar Rapids, currently near Hartwig at this time, heading towards Colzetta, Blairstown, and Norway in the state of Iowa. Then our final tornado warned storm. This one looks rather robust on radar. It actually looks quite impressive, and it's getting even more impressive with every scan now, although there's no debris signature. It's heading towards Garrison in Vinton at this time. So again, we have numerous tornado warned storms here across the country, and many of them are causing some extremely dangerous situations here. We still have that tornado warned storm now in the state of Illinois with baseball-sized hail in it, as well as a potential tornado there that's radar indicated. And this is for northwestern Pike and southeastern Adams counties, where it does appear this is occurring. Do we have any updates from the team?
Just that a strong tornado is continuing in multiple locations. And it is moving rapidly to the northeast.
I mean, the only significant piece of information I can really give that we haven't touched on yet is that there is... So the tornado warning east of Little Rock is actually looking to be on track to move toward the northern suburbs of Memphis, Tennessee. So definitely worth watching if you're in Memphis, as this is a very isolated supercell. If it decides to get its act together, it can very easily put down another long track tornado. And obviously if that happens, then we're going to have some major issues, as another large city will be under the gun from a significant tornado, assuming that this cell can get its act together.
Absolutely the case, and definitely something of concern that we're going to continue to watch with time. No tornado warnings anymore in Texas. That's the good news, but we still have tornado warnings in Arkansas, Illinois, and Iowa at this time as we continue to watch these dangerous tornadoes traverse across the country. And again, we still have that particularly dangerous situation with that tornado near Kyoto at this time. Big debris ball. It's kind of difficult to see. Some aliasing problems, but again, we have footage from the ground that there is a large wedge tornado currently on the ground here. And there were two... It
looks like it cycled successfully.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite the handoff. Did it even hand off, or did the dominant meso just take over again?
Let me have a look, see.
But as we said earlier, this storm is likely to remain for some time, and it is now in the same county as Iowa City. Iowa City directly is not under a tornado warning, but the southwest part of Johnson County is now under a tornado warning. The storm may move to the west of Iowa City, but in the long run, it's actually moving fairly to Tiffin, North Liberty, Oxford. Short term, it's about to pass very near to Wellman and Kinross. It moved very near to Kyoto because of how high the radar is above the ground at the angle we're seeing. We can't say if it hit Kyoto or not. No reports so far. But Wellman is the next town nearby. Kinross is also very nearby. Of course, everyone in this PDS tornado warning should be in a safe place. That includes South English, North English, Parnell, Williamsburg. And just north of Kelowna, I'd be in my safe place if I were in Kelowna, just to be safe. This is all in Iowa. And it is moving towards Oxford, Tiffin, Coralville, basically anywhere west of I-70 until you get to Williamsburg. And Williamsburg is included in this tornado warning. And then places north of there, Oxford and Swisher, North Liberty, Tiffin. You're not in a warning right now, but you will be shortly, and this storm shows no sign of slowing down.
Should be noted, Iowa City also awfully close to the edge of that too, so we're going to continue to watch this with time, but I mean that this cell has a long track, significant tornado currently on the ground with it. Still a big time debris ball there as well. And again, this is from about 9,000 feet or so in the air that I'm seeing what I'm seeing with this storm, and that seems to be the best view. We'll see. But I really believe there that that might be the best view. We do have one a bit lower to the ground here, actually. And now I can see the storm about 5,000 feet off the ground. But you can see there, very strong velocity couplet. It's actually strengthened quite a bit in the latest frame, so we're likely going to see this tornado continue there. So if I'm in Wellman, in particular, this is heading for you. So if you're in Wellman, you got to get to your safe place right here, right now, as you have a significant tornado heading in your general direction. So if I'm at the Wellman skating rink, if I'm at Mid Prairie Senior High School, if I'm at the disposal plant there, I mean, I don't really care where you are. If you're near the Freeman Foods there in Wellman, you gotta go. It's time to go. If you're in Daytonville, it's time to go to your safe place as well. This is a large, likely violent tornado on the ground right now, and the Weather Service has felt the need to upgrade the wording of this warning to a particularly dangerous situation. Again, that's a particularly dangerous situation currently ongoing given this. If you guys know anyone within the moderate or high risks today for severe thunderstorms, please share this stream with them, especially if they're within this tornadic thunderstorm here heading towards Wellman, Iowa. If you know anyone there that's in Kiriuk, Johnson, Washington, or southeastern Iowa counties, contact them. Let them know this is coming. And again, it's a very strong tornado. This warning has been updated now. Still a particularly dangerous situation with a Weather Spotters confirmed tornado. If I'm in Colonia, Amish, or Holbrook, this thing's hitting you around 4:30. If you're in Wendlam, Frytown, Sharon Center, this is hitting you around 4:35. So this is an extremely dangerous situation that continues to unfold with time here as this couplet remains very strong in there. Oh my goodness gracious. That couplet is absurdly strong. Yeah, if I'm in Wellman, you gotta go. You gotta go. This thing is heading straight for you, and
we're still
it's very
seeing dual
strong.
tornado signature on the radar.
Yeah, I mean this is nuts. And I mean we have huge debris fallout from this as well. So there's debris. If you're in Iowa City, you might see chunks of Kyoto falling from the sky. And if you're in Wellman,
certainly areas near Kyoto. There's definitely been lots of trees and fencing and stuff. Things you'd find in farmland have been torn up, but we don't have any confirmation. Structures being hit, although given how long it's been on the ground, it's likely to have hit something, unfortunately.
My goodness.
We just hope that everyone who's been impacted by this tornado and will continue to be impacted by this tornado remains safe and got to their safe places in time and weren't injured by this tornado.
Yeah, again, if I'm in
given
Wellman,
how strong this likely is, you want to be in a tornado shelter or underground if at all possible. If you don't have that available, the next best option is the lowest floor of a sturdy building that is not a manufactured home, that is not a mobile home, and it is certainly not a car. You want to be in the interior room on that ground floor without any windows. If you have a bathroom that's an interior room, get in the bathtub. Have a helmet on, have sturdy footwear on, and cover your face to avoid flying debris.
absolutely.
It is so. According to the text on the updated tornado warning, still PDS. Let's see. Look, 422. The tornado was located north of Kyoto, so it looks so Kyoto may have just barely missed a direct hit, but definitely Wellman is just about to be impacted, if not being impacted right as we speak.
The thing I'm seeing is that this storm, rather than overtaken by the line, appears to be trying to merge with the line, and that's a big issue because it would allow it to continue for a lot longer, and perhaps even help it in the short term.
Yeah, if I'm in Wellman, you're getting to your safe place right now. It's what you have to do. There's not really another way of looking at this. You have to get to your safe place in Wellman right now. Again, it's lowest level sturdy building interior room. If you have a storm shelter, I might even go to that. But yeah, I mean, the Storm Prediction Center has said that in a upper EF2 to EF3 could be ongoing. I'd argue there's a potential this is a violent tornado from what we've seen so far. We'll see what the survey says, but I mean, if you're in Wellman, you got to be preparing for a worst case scenario here.
And we do now have a debris ball on reflectivity.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, if I'm in Wellman, this thing's moving through you right now.
And while it may seem like it's going to pass just to the west on radar, we are seeing some distance above the ground, and there is some tilt. It could be much nearer than it looks. So particularly if you're in the west and north parts of Wellman, you need to be in your safe place now.
Absolutely the case. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please feel free to ask. We'll be more than glad to answer them. But again, this extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold here as this tornadic thunderstorm heads towards Wellman. I don't want to leave everyone out here, so I am going to briefly go over what else is going on here. Please interrupt me if there's breaking news, anything of that nature. We do have a tornado warning in the state of Illinois here. This is heading in the general direction of Princeton. So this is for a tornado warned storm near Henry and Bureau counties until 5:15. It's for a tornado and $half sized hail. So this will be near Buda around 4:30, Waynett and Milnes around 4:35, Princeton, Walnut, Bureau County Fairgrounds around 4:45 p.m. Again, it's for a tornado and some 1 1/4 inch hail. We also have that supercell thunderstorm there in Quincy, just passed through Hannibal. So if I am in northwestern Pike and southeastern Adams counties in west central Illinois, you're in a tornado warning until 4:45. That's for a tornado and baseball-sized hail. As we move south here into Arkansas, we do have our tornado-warned storms. Let's talk about those. We do have, let me just check something real quick. We just got a brand new tornado warning in the state of Iowa here. That's along the line of storms. We'll talk about that here shortly. But as we go down to Arkansas, we do have that tornado-warned storm there. And it does look like this tornado warning for St. Francis and Cross counties is in place until 4:45 for a radar-indicated tornado. And then we have another tornado warning behind that for the same storm for Woodruff County until 4:45 as well. We also have a tornado warning here down to the south near Donaldson, Arkansas, and that is for west central Grant and eastern Hot Springs counties until 4:45 at this time. However, this tornado warning may expire shortly. There's a new one, though, to take its place. So East Central Clark, Dallas, and Hot Spring counties here. And oh my goodness, we just have a ton of new tornado warnings coming in. Dallas and Hot Spring counties in Arkansas, all within this with a tornado and quarter-sized hail possible there as well. And that's the final of the tornado warnings there. Let's move back to Iowa here. New tornado warning currently in place along this line of storms here for Marshall, Blackhawk, Antietam, and Grundy counties until 5:15 for a tornado and radar indicated rotation. I'd now like to talk about how a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning is in place for Iowa City. Again, if you're in Iowa City, you are now in a PDS tornado warning. That is a particularly dangerous situation as a large, likely violent, and extremely dangerous tornado is heading in your general direction. So if I'm in Oxford, North Liberty, Iowa City, it's time to get to your safe place right now. If you're in Freytown, this will hit you around 4:30. Costgrove, Sharon Center, and Wyndham around 4:35. Coralville, Triffin, University Rights, and Oakdale, University of Iowa, and Southwest Kent Park around 4:40. Iowa City, North Liberty, Cornerville, Lake Dam Complex, West Overlook, and Newport around 4:45. Again, a large, damaging, dangerous tornado is currently on the ground. It's time to get to your safe place right here, right now. Again, if you guys know anyone in this, you need to get to that safe place, or you need to get them to that safe place. I don't care if you send them here. I don't care if you tell them directly. You need to tell them what's going on. They need to know so they can get to that tornado safe place. And my goodness, that is just an absurdly tight radar signature, an absurdly tight tornado couplet. Again, that is a potential tornado heading in the general direction now of Iowa City.
And an incredible debris signature. I would like to note that with this tornado warning, we have baseball-sized hail as well as the tornado.
Yeah, absolutely the case with that as well. So we'll continue to take a look at that as well here. My goodness. Extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold there with that large, damaging, dangerous tornado there in the state of Iowa. If this gets close enough to Iowa City, I would think they'd upgrade this to a tornado emergency. We'll see.
Without a doubt.
Regardless, if I'm in Iowa City right now, I'm getting to my safe place. So, again, that's going to be the lowest level sturdy building, interior room, bathroom, closet, that kind of thing. That's what you're going to want to do.
I would like to note that the mayor of Little Rock has requested that all people in the area stay away from the parts impacted by the tornado. That's around Reservoir, Robinwood, Pleasant Valley, I-430 up to the river. Please stay out of those regions. Responders need access and they're struggling to get in.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything, please ask. We'll be happy to answer them. Someone's saying, I'm in Kirksville, Missouri. How are we looking heading in to the night? So if I'm in Kirksville, Missouri, let's see what that means. So you're in the northern side of the state. So you've got some stronger storms to your south right now. I wouldn't say you're done yet, that's for sure. You've still got a long evening to go. I'm going to check a couple of things real quick just to see what we're looking like for the remainder of the day today. But if I'm in Kirksville right now, it looks like things should be over for you here within the next couple hours. But I'd say for the next 2 hours or so, I'd be keeping a lookout after that. As you head into the evening and overnight hours, I think that things are not going to be looking so bad for you. So as long as we get through these next couple hours, everything's going to end up being okay.
Thomas, I do want to jump in really quick. We have a new PDS tornado. This is heading toward Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
Memphis is not in the tornado warning. It is not in the tornado warning yet. But it is currently located near Fair Oaks, Arkansas, or 9 miles west of wind, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Again, damaging tornado, and it is a PDS tornado warning. They are saying radar indicated rotation, so I'm not sure if there's something on the ground yet, but there is a very good chance that one is on the ground, and if there is, it's going to be strong. This will impact Wynn, Village Creek State Park, Caldwell, Colt, Fair Oaks, Vandale, Rosenbaum, Fitzgerald Crossing, Crow Creek, Whittsburg, McElroy, Ellis Chapel, Levesque, Hamlin, and Langville. If you are in any of those cities or anywhere near them, you need to be in your safe place now. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now.
Yeah, we have 2 tornadoes now on the ground with some power, one in the state of Arkansas and one in the state of Iowa here. So again, this one in the state of Arkansas, it's heading in the general direction of Wayne. Very powerful tornado at this time, heading in the general direction of Wayne. So if I am in this tornado warning, that is a very strong couplet. There is a debris ball. Now with that, on the correlation coefficient, or it's awfully close. It might be inflow. It's difficult to tell, but again, a particularly dangerous situation there. A damaging, dangerous tornado likely on the ground, according to the Weather Service, and that is heading in the general direction of Memphis. Although if I had to guess, it'll probably go north, but I'd still be watching this very, very closely. That is a damaging, dangerous tornado currently on the ground there, warranting the particularly dangerous situation tag.
People in Wynn need to take shelter immediately. You have 5 minutes before the tornado arrives in your town, and it looks like it'll be a direct hit.
It's absolutely the case. Let's go back to the Iowa storm now here for a little bit. I cannot get over the insanity that is the appearance of this storm. That debris ball is still massive. Some good news, the velocity signature does not look as impressive as it once did. However, there is still a big debris ball with this, and so there is a very good chance here that we are still seeing a strong tornado on the ground. So regardless, big time debris ball there, still remaining with this storm, and that still remains a particularly dangerous situation for Johnson, Washington, and Iowa counties until 5:15 p.m. So, goodness gracious.
I would like to note that the storm near Hannibal, the chaser wasn't able to get right up to it, but there was a ground-scraping wall cloud from a distance not too long ago. So that's the one that's in western Illinois this time it's capable of producing a strong tornado.
And we have a new tornado warning here south of the PDS warning. This is with a different cell embedded within this kind of Boeing segment that's evolving here. So if you're in Louisa, Johnson, or Washington counties, you're in a tornado warning until 5 p.m. for a tornado and ping pong ball-sized hail. So if you're in Washington or Washington Airport, this will be at your place around 4:45, Richmond around 4:50, and Colonia around 4:55. This is an extremely dangerous situation, continues to unfold there. And again, to the north is our particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning. And we have confirmation. No, that tornado warning is no longer confirmed, but we do have that tornado warning near Blairstown. But we also now have up and down this arc of storms here in Iowa, these tornado warnings up and down that arc on the northern side of the state, heading towards Waverly, Waterloo, and Grabbuck, and those are some robust couplets. So unfortunately, even if these do become line segments, I think today the conditions are good enough that we're going to see numerous embedded tornadoes within these lines.
Jeff Petrosky is live on the tornado moving towards Wynn. It is a large tornado and it's moving directly towards Wynn. Sirens are going off in Wynn. This is a life-threatening situation. Everyone in Wynn needs to be in their safe place now. This is a large, dangerous tornado. We've seen what's happening in Iowa. We've seen what happened in Little Rock. Now, unfortunately, it's your turn. This is a life-threatening situation, and you need to be in your safe place now. That is chaser confirmed as well as radar confirmed.
Yeah, my goodness, there it is. That is a particularly dangerous situation from the Weather Service, and that is a confirmed large, damaging, dangerous tornado now heading in the general direction of Wynn. So again, that's a particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning until 4:45 for St. Francis and southeastern Cross counties in the state of Arkansas. So if you're in Wynn, Village Creek State Park, Colt, Fair Oaks, Vindale, Elroy, Rosebum, Fitzgerald Crossing, Ellis Chapel, Levesque, Hamlin, or Whittsburg, it's time to get to that safe place right now. That's for a tornado and 1-inch hail. And again, that is a large, damaging, dangerous tornado. Was that a stovepipe? Was that a wedge? Do we know what the shape of that was?
He said bowl, which implies it was strengthening.
Yeah, so that base is smaller than the top. So it's probably beginning to wedge.
You get it sometimes with those big plane tornadoes where the wall cloud just drops and then the bottom is curved. And then as it intensifies, the whole thing just becomes a wedge. Hopefully it won't get to the point, because if it did, it would likely happen as it entered the town of Wynn. But we hope everyone in Wynn is getting to their tornado safe place now.
Absolutely the case. Let's move back now to the particularly dangerous situation in the state of Iowa as well. And again, there's a tornado warning in place there for Iowa City. Now, good news, that debris ball also looks substantially weaker in the latest frame. And the tornado warning still remains a particularly dangerous situation, but the velocity also looks much, much weaker, as this looks like it's getting absorbed by the main line to its south. So this is good news, especially if you're in Iowa City. It looks like this is weakening, but we don't know that for sure, so you need to stay in your safe place. This is still a particularly dangerous situation. So if you're in Cogrove, this thing's hitting you right now. If you're in Oxford or Kent Park, this will be there around 4:45. And my goodness, just an extremely dangerous situation there. It continues as we head through the day.
Absolutely. We just had a comment from Gideon, who said there was golf ball-sized hail that just missed where they live. We're glad you weren't affected by it. Unfortunately, many people today have not been so lucky, and we've had confirmed reports of baseball-sized hail in multiple towns in various states.
And it does look like while this cell has weakened, it does look like it's starting to try and ramp up again here in Iowa, heading towards Iowa City. So this isn't over yet, that's for sure. Even if this is lifted, which we don't know, and it does look weaker, that doesn't mean that this is over. This could definitely be heading in your direction. Let's talk about the tornado near Wynn now. And my goodness, that velocity signature, that is a horrendous tornado.
It's ramping up, unfortunately. It's the last thing we wanted to see, but it's going for it. And it remains a particularly dangerous situation now, including Wynn, Vandale, Parkin, Earl, and Crawfordsville. This is just north of I-40.
And this is heading in the general direction Clarksdale. You're not in the warning yet, but this is heading in your direction. Again, that's a particularly dangerous situation for a weather spotter's confirmed tornado. So if you're in Wynn, Arrow, Parkin, Village Creek State Park, Crawfordsville, Vindale, Smithdale, Three Forks, Booker, Fitzgerald Crossing, Colton, Twist, McDonald, Elroy, Clore, Coldwater, Togo, Riverfront, Lansing, or Whittsburg, it's time to get to that tornado safe place right here, right now. Extremely dangerous situation continuing to unfold there near Wynn. And again, that it does look like there is a substantial tornado in there. However, we aren't seeing any evidence of a radar signature of that on the ground via correlation coefficient. So this is a confirmed tornado. It doesn't look like it's hit much yet. That's the good news. Other than that, I don't think there's much more good about this. We're going to continue to watch as the day goes on. The situation continue to escalate, I think, as we're just now starting to move into the best of the conditions.
So very quick update here for the tornado warning east of Davenport, north of Peoria. Weather spotters have reported a funnel cloud on that, so it could drop a tornado at any time. Just wanted to very quickly give that update. We do have a load of tornado warnings going up in Iowa as well. We still have the multitude that are in effect in and around the PDS tornado. We also have a whole bunch to the north of that. But now we also have this line consolidating to the west that is starting to get some spin-ups as well, possibly. I hope that once that line moves through, that'll be the end of the threat for anybody. But again, there's still a while to go for a lot of people. So it's unfortunately the event is far from over. We're just gonna have to hope that everybody is in their safe space when the time comes.
We now have a clear velocity signature of well-defined couplets.
With the storm near Wynn?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not.
And what seems to be a small debris ball directly over that.
Yeah, this is ramping rapidly.
But there isn't any CC at this time, so I don't think it is. I think it's just an area of intense rain. Maybe it's rain wrapped.
No, there is some CC there. It's mild. It's below 0.9 though. It's at 0.85. So technically that's a TDS.
I guess I haven't updated yet. Oh, I see it now. Yeah. That is now a radar confirmed tornado if the chaser confirmation wasn't enough. So we have confirmation by radar and confirmation by trusted storm chasers that this is a tornado on the ground moving straight towards the town of Wynn, Arkansas. We hope everyone's been listening. We hope that if you knew someone in Wynn, you let them know. We hope everyone in the town got to their safe place. Jeff Trosky did confirm that the sirens are going off in town. That will have made a difference for some people. But it's really as much as we can do now. We just have to hope that it misses town as much as possible, but it looks like it's going straight for the town.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it appears that tornado is big now. It appears that tornado is again heading straight for Wynn. It's going to head towards Parkin and Earl afterwards. So if you're within those general areas, it's time to get to your safe place right here, right now. I would like to note that Rishi's going to be taking over the stream for a bit, and I'm probably going to go for a little while before I come back to cover the remainder of this. However, I'll still be staying with you here for the next little bit as we continue to watch this serious situation as it unfolds. As we continue,
just some information from the Iowa tornado, the wedge tornado.
yes.
A storm chaser is assessing damage at this time, but he says there are likely people hurt, unfortunately.
Not good news there. That supercell there, no longer PDS, that warning there for that storm heading towards Iowa City, although still they're saying it's a weather spotter's confirmed tornado, although it's probably substantially weaker. It does look like the storm is trying to get some of that surge of air into it, but it looks like it's just kind of getting eaten up by that line of
And it has
storms.
cycled once. It may well cycle again. It could rapidly re-intensify, especially given what we saw last time around. But even before it
Absolutely.
became a large wedge tornado, it still looked like a strong but narrow stovepipe tornado. And those can produce just as much damage, but over a much more focused area. And if you're
Absolutely.
unlucky enough to be hit by that narrow tornado, it'll do just as much damage as if you got hit by the big one. So treat them both equally.
That is most certainly the case. So if you're in North Liberty, Tiffin, Iowa City, Oxford, you still need to be in your safe place, but good news, that tornado warning, no longer a particularly dangerous situation. Let's move back to our particularly dangerous situation here, and this again includes the city of Wynn. This thing's over Wynn.
It is right on top of the city now. If you know anyone in Wynn or you're in Wynn, I don't expect you'll be listening to us for long because this appears to be directly over the south town, and unless something's changed, it could well take out the power for the town, or at least part of the town.
My goodness.
There are 50,000 people in this warning. Not as much as there have been in previous warnings. Obviously, there was a huge number for the tornado emergency in Little Rock. But that's still 15,000 people that are at risk from a strong tornado. And they all need to be in shelter.
Absolutely the case. As this extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold. Again, if you're in Wynn, your time's up. This thing's over you. It's time to get to shelter here really quickly. If you're in Parkin, Earl, you still have time to get pillows, blankets, stuff to protect yourself from flying debris, and get underground towards that safe place. If I'm in Crawfordsville, I'm still watching this as well, but this tornado warning remains in place for Critting and Cross counties until 5:30 p.m. So, my
We have a
goodness.
tweet from Evan Bentley at Storm Prediction Center. I don't know if he's on shift today, but he is a member of the Storm Prediction Center meteorologist team. He says growing concern for this supercell trying to get its act together as it moves in the general direction of the northern Memphis metro. And there you have it, the latest frame. It's directly over the town of Wynn. It's not as strong as a signature as we've seen with some of the other tornadoes today, but there is a weak tornado debris signature, and there is a well-defined rotation couplet.
It's absolutely the case. This particularly dangerous situation continues. Let's talk about the other warnings going on across the nation here. I do want to have everyone included, and if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please ask. We'll be happy to answer them. So again, a tornado warning now in place for Waterloo, points north. We're just going to go north to south here. We have a tornado warning that is currently in place for north central Grundy and eastern Butler counties, as well as northwestern Blackhawk County. That's currently going to be in place until 5:15 p.m. We have a warning south of that here that's in place for northwestern Blackhawk, northern Tama, and south central Bremer counties until 5:15. That's also radar indicated. Now at the bottom of this line, we do have a tornado warning until 5:15 for Marshall, Blackhawk, and northern Tama counties, as well as southwestern Grundy counties in the state of Iowa. As we continue to move farther south here, we do have a tornado warning in effect until 5:15 for Butchin, northeastern Benton, and northwestern Lynn counties. We have a tornado warning south of there in place. This is the one that was PDS, no longer is, but still confirmed. Tornado warning in place until 5:15 for Johnson, central Washington, eastern Iowa counties. That includes Iowa City. Again, that's a damaging tornado and baseball-sized hail. South of there, we do have a tornado warning in place for Louisa, Johnson, and
Thomas,
Washington
I'm just going to
counties.
interrupt
Yes?
you briefly.
Yes?
I'm very sorry to confirm, but the velocity signature and the tornado debris signature have come through strong immediately as the tornado moved through Wynn. We can confirm from the radar signature that it has produced damage in Wynn and has lofted that debris to a height.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. We're just going to look at that real quick before we get back to this, but my goodness, that is an unfortunate situation there in Wynn, Arkansas. So a strong tornado has now moved through Wynn, heading towards Parkin and Earl. So if you're in Parkin, Earl, again, you know now that a strong tornado just went through Wynn. So again, if you're within this area, it's time to get to your safe place right here, right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, huge aliasing on this next scan. That means that that southern side, something's gone wrong with that. And oh my goodness. Okay, that debris ball is big now. Big debris ball south of Indale, heading in the general direction of Parkin and Earl. So again, if you're in this tornado warning, this particularly dangerous situation tornado warning that is now in place until 5:30 for northwestern Citron and eastern Cross counties, it's time to get to your safe place. And again, so if you're in Wynne, if you're in Earl, if you're in Parkin, if you're in Village Creek State Park, Crawfordville, Vandale, Smithdale, Three Forks, Booker, Fitzgerald Crossing, Colton, Twist, McDonald, McElroy, Clore, Coldwater, Togo, Riverfront, Lansing, or Wittsburg, you've got to get to your safe place right here, right now. Extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold here. And to the team, do we have any additional information regarding this particularly dangerous situation as it continues to unfold?
I have one thing to say. I'm very glad that the tornado that moved through Wynne did not strengthen as it hit the town. It appears that it has rapidly strengthened immediately after leaving town. We now have a very strong radar signature that's on par with the tornado we had in Iowa. They said the only saving grace is while it seems to have directly impacted the town, it did so just before it became strong. It might have been just forming. It might have been narrow. We can hope that these things are true, that the damage is limited, but anywhere ahead of this storm is a real serious situation. It's tracking directly along the road from Wynne to Parkin, so if anyone is in that area, do not be on this road. It looks like it's going to go right down the road. It's going to pass near or north of Parkin, Arkansas. The same can be said for Earl, near or north of Earl. And in the long term, it's going to be moving towards Gilmore, Turrell, and Birdsong on I-35, I believe that is.
Again, that extremely dangerous situation continues there, and I mean, we're just seeing footage of these massive tornadoes in Arkansas and Iowa, all over the place. So it's been serious. I would like to say I'm seeing another couplet here with another kind of inflow notch beginning to form near Parkin. So there might be a tornado ahead of this tornado trying to form right now as well, which is quite remarkable if that's the case. We'll see, but regardless, I mean, this is an extremely dangerous tornado that is currently on the ground at this time. We just have had an update to this particularly dangerous situation. Tornado warning again. A tornado warning is in place until 5:30 for northwestern City and eastern Cross counties. That's Crittenden, or Crittenden, I believe is how you pronounce that, in eastern Cross counties. And again, it's a particularly dangerous situation. Continues there. Again, if you're in Earl, if you're in Parkin, gotta be in that safe place. Lowest level, sturdy building, interior room. If anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, anything of that nature, please feel free to ask us. We'll be more than glad to answer as this major tornado outbreak continues. My goodness, that is a very strong couplet there.
I do want to draw attention back up north to Iowa, though. It does look like we might have a couple of redeveloping on the previously PDS storm, and potentially, and I don't know if it's an alias issue, but potentially another one trying to develop near Hills that is just south of Iowa City. I do want to get a second opinion on that, however, as it's looks rather new. It might just be an aliasing issue.
I'm not seeing an overly strong. Oh yeah, they're near Hills.
Yeah, that'd be the one.
Yeah, that actually looks like the stronger of the two couplets to me.
Yeah, but again, I'm not sure if that's an actual thing or if that's just a radar artifact.
Yeah, I believe that has
we'll
to
find
do.
out soon.
No, that's definitely a real thing. It's from that couplet that produced the tornado warning earlier there. I mean, Hills is in a tornado warning right now, so it's more than warranted. But as we continue to look north here, a tornado warning currently in place for a spotter confirmed tornado there. Tornado warning remains in place for Cedar, Johnson, and Lynn counties as a damaging tornado and baseball-sized hail continue here. So again, if you're in Sandy Beach Campground here, this is hitting you around 5. If you're in Sultan Lake McBride State Park, Twin View Heights, this is hitting you around 5:05, and Ellie around 5:10.
Yep, debris ball just popped up on CC east of Tiffin in
Yep.
northwest of Coralville.
Yeah, there we go. So we do have a tornado back on the ground if it had lifted there, just to the northwest of Coralville within this warning. So if you're in North Liberty, Saloon, Ellie, Mount Vernon, there is a tornado on the ground now, and you need to be getting to your safe place.
There is this is Justin. There is now a tornado emergency for Early Park in Turrell and Clarkdale, Arkansas.
Yeah, there it is. Tornado emergency now in place here. That is a breaking piece of news there. Again, that is a tornado emergency.
Given the presentation of that supercell, that does not surprise me in the slightest.
No, I mean, my goodness, that is a very strong tornado on the ground with quite the debris signature. Let's talk about it. Tornado emergency for Parkin and Earl. National Weather Service in Memphis has issued this tornado emergency for Crittenden and Cross counties until 5:30 p.m. Again, that's a tornado emergency for Perkin and Earl, Arkansas. This is a particularly dangerous situation. You need to get to your tornado safe place right here, right now, as a strong to violent tornado is moving in your general direction. Again, that is a deadly tornado on the ground, damaging and extremely dangerous. So if you're in Earl, Parkin, Gilmore, Garrettshire, Turrell, Clarkdale, Smithdale, Three Forks, Booker, Colton, Twist, McDonald, Clore, Coldwater, Togo, Riverfront, Lansing, Whittsburg, Duval, or Lambethville, it's time to get to that safe place right here, right now. That is a tornado emergency. That's just gone into place. Again, tornado emergency. That's the highest level of tornado warning that anyone at the Weather Service can issue. So that is not something to be taken lightly at all. And again, we do have that tornado debris signature right down here, which is indicative of a violent tornado currently ongoing. Again, that's a violent tornado that is currently on the ground. So here we go. Strong to violent tornado heading in the general direction of Parkin and Earl. But I would say thus far that the high risk has been more than warranted thus far.
Absolutely, and on top of that, there is now another confirmed tornado on the ground here in Illinois. I don't know if we've touched on that yet, but that is confirmed. The same storm has reported, or has had spotters report also 3-inch hail with the storm as well. So,
oh my goodness,
that's another serious issue that we need to address.
Yeah, we got baseballs with that, and
this is insane.
This is emergency management confirmed. So this is near Versailles right now, heading towards Beardtown. So again, this is a tornado warning in place until 5:30 for western Cass, south central Schuyler, and northwestern Morgan counties in the state of Illinois. This is for a damaging tornado and baseball-sized hail. This is confirmed by emergency management. So if you're in Mercedosa, this is hitting you around 5, with places like Beardstown, Bluff Springs, and Earnsville all within this tornado warning that is confirmed here at this time. Again, that is an emergency management confirmed tornado at this time in this general vicinity. So lots to keep track of today. We're doing our best.
We have damage confirmation from the ground in Wynn. Looks like a lot of trees down, power lines impacted. Not seen any major damage at this time, which is great. But there could be some more severe damage on the eastern side of town because we know the tornado was strengthening as it moved through.
Absolutely
So
the case.
Confirmation of a direct hit.
I would like to just go through a couple of things. Firstly, we do have a tornado warning there with a supercell near Bevy right now in Griffithsville. This is oddly familiar territory. This is north of Little Rock, and north of Little Rock was where that bigger tornado happened earlier today. That intense tornado. We also have a couple of tornado warnings now going up in the state of Missouri. So we have a tornado warned storm near Houston and Bunker, Missouri, and then we have another one near Cuba, Missouri there along I-44, and this one's riding up I-44, so this supercell heading in the general direction of the St. Louis area. So if you're in the St. Louis area, especially in St. Louis County, it's time to be thinking about that tornado safety plan as well. So St. Louis Metro, the time is coming here soon for you guys to have to deal with severe storms as well. Chicago Metro, you're dealing with severe storms right now. This is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 1-inch hail. Des Moines, I think your day is over. That's the good news here. We'll see, though. Yeah, you're out of that PDS tornado watch now. And then again, as we move south, Little Rock, you still have some more time to go. And Memphis here, there's going to be a damaging, extremely dangerous tornado moving just north of there. So if I'm in Memphis, I'm still keeping an eye on this thing. However, it looks like as of now, this isn't looking like it's going to be hitting Memphis, moving north. All right, this thing's moving just north of Parkin right now. That debris ball has gone away. However, the velocity signature is still very intense. So it looks like there's a possibility that this is as a result of this tornado not moving over much. Hopefully, it's weakening and not moving over much. That would be the ideal. So we'll see what's going on here. But serious
But
situation.
given how rapidly it strengthened, it could well return at short notice.
And it
And
could
the
still
storm
be on the ground.
remains with nothing near it for miles.
Absolutely. And still, the Weather Service pulling the tornado emergency wording for this storm. So that's for Crittenden and Cross counties until 5:30 p.m. So again, it's a tornado emergency for Parkin and Earl. And again, this is moving just north of Parkin, moving towards Earl at this time. And yeah, that debris ball is now back again. That correlation coefficient drop is now back in the next frame. So this thing probably never lifted. It's more likely that this storm has moved over some more rural areas, which is good news. We don't want it moving through populated areas. The bad news is that means that we can't really gauge the strength of this storm. And so hopefully this starts to weaken soon, although I'm not totally convinced. So
before you get too caught, I do want to also note a couple new developments up in Iowa. So first off, it does look like we have two tornado re-signatures for two different tornado warnings here. One to the east of Iowa City's heart, and another one to the north of Iowa City. So two tornadoes ongoing there likely. The tornado warnings are nope, radar confirmed tornado, and weather spot is confirmed tornado. So both of them are confirmed at this time. We also have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning in effect to the northeast or northwest of Cedar Rapids for 80-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. I just wanted to point that out so that way everybody could know what's going on up north. Obviously, our attention is still going to be focused on the tornado emergency, as that is probably the most dangerous storm at this time.
Absolutely, we'll keep our focus right there. And again, I mean that is a velocity signature and a half. The latest frame showing a tornado velocity signature that's on the upper echelon of signatures I've seen. It's not Rolling Fork levels of crazy. It's not Amory levels of crazy, but it's getting there. So if you are in Earl, if you are north of Parkin, it's time to get to that safe place. Again, that tornado emergency remains in effect until 5:30 for northern Crittenden and east central Cross counties. And again, that's a tornado emergency for Parkin and Earl. So if you're in Earl, Parkin, Gilmore, Jericho, Churl, Clarkdale, Smithdale, Three Forks, Tugo, Brooker, Lansing, Duval, if you're in Lambertville, Colton, Twist, Stacy, Calore, Gailey, Heifer, Coldwater, it's time to get to your tornado safe place right here, right now, as this dangerous situation continues to unfold. Do we have any news about any developments with the numerous tornadoes that we currently have on the ground?
Nothing major. Let's see. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. If my count's correct, we have 4 currently ongoing. Our tornado emergency are 2 confirmed in Iowa and then are confirmed in Illinois. So definitely showing just how widespread this whole event is. I'm genuinely hoping that things stop going the way they are, but unfortunately, given the trends, it's unlikely that that's going to happen. So everybody in this whole risk area, I sincerely am hoping that you are sticking to any sort of resource that you have at your disposal to obtain updates, because these are going to hit fast and they're going to hit hard. There's no other way to put it.
It's absolutely the case, and this thing is moving fast and moving towards Earl with still a rather strong velocity signature at this time as the storms continue. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please put them in the chat. If you know anyone who is within this serious situation, please feel free to share this stream with them so that way they can get the information they need to remain safe as well as this extremely dangerous situation continues to unfold. Again, that's a tornado emergency for Parkin Earl at this time. Again, that is an extremely dangerous situation that continues to unfold there. So we're going to keep you posted here with time as time goes on, but please share this with people that you know within this extremely dangerous situation as we're going to continue to take a look at what exactly is going on here. And I'm just going to keep a monitor on these storms so that way we can see just how impressive they might end up looking.
There is a strong supercell to the northwest of St. Louis right now that has a very concerning look and reflectivity and a decent velocity signature.
Off of which radar are you looking?
St. Louis.
St. Louis radar northwest. Yep, that one just got tornado warned, I believe, as well. Currently located near Davis, moving east at 70 miles per hour. So this one's hauling. It's not going to take long to reach new cities. As of 5:05, it was located near Davis. It is going to be near Ellsbury in about 7 minutes here, and Hardin in about 17. This will also go pretty close to Carrollton, Old Kane, Greenfield, and Kemper. So make sure you're moving to your shelters, or at least a safe place of some kind if you're in that tornado warning path.
Absolutely the case, and yeah, that is starting to have a more concerning appearance. We'll continue to keep an eye on that, and we do have a tornado-warned storm to the south here near Cuba, Bourbon, and Sullivan. This thing is riding up I-44 right now with some rather strong rotation. Again, it's a tornado golf ball-sized hail, and south of there we have another tornado warning there for eastern Dent County until 5:30 p.m. as well. Primary focus still remains on the tornado emergency, again with this storm heading in the general direction of the northern Memphis area. Again, that velocity signature looks great, but the debris signature doesn't look quite as good. So hopefully this is moving over very little area if there is a strong tornado, or even better, it's weakening rapidly. That would be the ideal.
Yes.
However, I doubt that's what's happening.
8 minutes ago, this storm crossed Highway 64 at Riverfront in West Parkin, and that was confirmed at 9 minutes ago by weather spotters to be crossing Highway 64 just west of Parkin. So, and that was confirmed as a large tornado at this time.
So that remains a large tornado on the ground, right?
Yes, as of
Okay.
just a few minutes ago.
Okay, so if you're in Earl, you're still in your safe place. There might not be much of a debris signature with this, but we definitely have the velocity and the reports on the ground. There's a large tornado on the ground moving north of Earl. If I'm in Gilmore, Turl, or Clarksdale, I'm in my safe place as well, and I'd be rather concerned about this because this is moving in your general direction, and we know that the conditions today are very favorable for long track intense tornadoes, hence why the Storm Prediction Center has issued their extremely rare high risk today.
And we have already seen several of them.
We've seen at least 2, maybe 3 by my count, but then again, I was unfortunately caught up with other things, so I may be undercounting. That being said, though, it only takes one to change a life, and usually, if it changes one, it changes at least a dozen others. So the situation isn't going to improve for at least in the next few hours. Conditions are likely going to remain as volatile as they are now, if not deteriorate a little further before we finally start to see everything move out of the best conditions. But we'll have to wait and see. But just as a quick aside, the tornado emergency, there is still a tornado debris signature there. It's not very deep. but it might just be because it's moving over relatively rural areas. So
but we have some radar data from Memphis that suggests the environment ahead of this storm is extreme. For people who know the numbers, I'm talking 600 0-1 helicity.
Goodness gracious.
Which is about the values we were seeing during the Mayfield tornado that remained long tracking and violent. So that's the environment we got right now. It's capable of supporting long tracking violent tornadoes. And even if this current tornado weakens, there's nothing near this storm and it will likely reproduce a new tornado.
That is the unfortunate reality of this situation here. Again, tornado emergency for Parkin and Earl. It looks like the worst of this is past you, although I'd remain in my safe place until out of the emergency. Gilmore, Turtle, and Clarksdale, you're up next. It's time to get to that tornado safe place right here, right now. If you know anyone that is within this tornado emergency or within the moderate or high risks for severe storms today, send them to this stream. Other things you can do here, if you are in a situation where you're here, you're in danger, you're worried about something, ask us questions. We'll be happy to answer them and guide you through the situation as it unfolds. We're here to serve you today, so make sure that you are you're taking advantage of that, because we want to serve you today. We want to make sure that you guys are as safe as possible.
Reports of significant damage coming in from near the Wynn area. I don't know exactly where, but there's numerous trees down. And it looks very significant. Although I should note that the buildings in this photo look less damaged than the trees, so maybe they got just missed because they're slightly to the edge. At least that area looks like the people that lived there got off all right, but the trees just next to them got badly damaged. If any buildings were in that bad damage swath, then you can put 2 and 2 together.
Absolutely the case. We have numerous tornado warnings in place, so I do want to kind of take a look at the broader picture here and move down here as we continue to look at these. We had a brand new tornado warning that was just issued a few minutes ago. I just want to go down through these right now. So let's go into Iowa. We have a new tornado warning currently in place, given the storm that was near Iowa City. And this is the only one regarding this storm that's not going to expire here in short order. So I'm going to just read off this one. This is for Cedar, Johnson, Jones, and Lynn counties until 5:45 p.m. with a damaging tornado and golf ball-sized hail here. Radar confirmed tornado is what this was as well. Destructive severe thunderstorm warning to the north of that. Brief mention, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts for Buchan, Benton, Delaware, Lynn, and Iowa counties. So that's rather serious as well. And as we move south, we have a tornado warning in place here for southwestern Cedar and central Johnson counties until 5:30 p.m. With a damaging tornado and ping-pong ball-sized hail. That is a radar-confirmed tornado, so there's a CC drop with that. However, that is not in a particularly dangerous situation. As we move farther south, we have another tornado warning that is in place for Burn and southeastern Jefferson. No, that's where it's canceled. Tornado warning in effect until 5:30 for central Harry County in the state of Iowa there. That is for a radar-indicated tornado and quarter-sized hail. As we continue our southward movement, we do have a confirmed, I believe, tornado. Let's see if that's still confirmed. It was a little bit ago. Yes, a emergency management confirmed tornado heading towards Beardstown in the state of Illinois. That's a tornado warning in place until 5:30 Central Daylight Time, with northwestern Cass and south central Schuyler counties within this situation here. For sure. As we continue to move south here, we do have a tornado warning in place crossing the Missouri-Illinois border. This one is in place for Calhoun, Greene, and Jersey counties in Illinois, Lincoln and Pike counties in Missouri. With a tornado and quarter-sized hail, its radar indicated until 5:45 p.m. And then as we continue our southward movement, we have another supercell here that is tornadic. This is a tornado warning. It's currently in effect for northeastern Crawford and southwestern Franklin counties for a tornado and golf ball-sized hail until 5:45. We have another tornado warned storm here with a tornado warning that is in place until 6 for northern Washington County, with a tornado radar indicated rotation. With that, as we continue to head south here near Salem, Missouri, we have another tornado warning currently in place for northern Shannon. That's where it's canceled for eastern Dent County until 5:30 p.m. And as we continue to move south here, it does appear that we do have a new tornado warning in place here. New tornado emergency, I believe. Or no, it's the same. This has been downgraded to a PDS tornado warning. That's good news. But we have a PDS tornado warning in place for northern Crittenden County until 5:30 p.m. with a rather strong velocity signature there, although we aren't seeing much in terms of a radar signature, but the Weather Service saying this is a radar-confirmed tornado with a considerable damage threat. As we continue our movement here to the south in Arkansas, we do have a new tornado warning that's just gone into place here for Grant and Jefferson counties until 5:45 for a potential tornado and baseball-sized hail as well. So that's what we're looking at in terms of tornado warnings. Widespread tornado warnings now overspreading Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas. So we have 4 states currently within tornado warnings, but again, our PDS tornado warning is our primary concern with the storm heading towards Turl, Clarksdale, and Gilmore. And this thing is looking rather strong, like it could be in the process of recycling and will likely put down another tornado in short order, unfortunately, if it hasn't already. All right, if you guys know anyone who is within this tornado warning or anyone in the moderate and high risks today, share the stream with them. This could save a life. We also want you to know that we're going to continue to cover this as the night goes on, and we're going to keep an eye now on this tornado warned storm heading towards Gilmore, Turl, Clarksdale, and Jericho. But we will continue to look at the wider picture as time goes on, and if we do see anything light up here with a particularly dangerous situation or tornado emergency in another location, we will immediately cover that as well. But this is a rapidly strengthening tornadic storm now again, unfortunately, according to the velocity signature. So I anticipate that if the tornado ever did lift, it's back on the ground now. If you're in Gilmore, Turl, Clarksdale, it's time to get to that safe place right here, right now.
Yep. And this is an incredible radar presentation. You rarely see a storm that looks this impressive, partly because the storms aren't always near enough to a radar site. But my goodness, that is as textbook as it gets. And it is a PDS tornado warning. It was tornado emergency. It has been downgraded to PDS. And it will be crossing I-55 imminently. So anyone on I-55 between Birdsong and Marion, you should not be on I-55. If you are on that stretch of I-55, you need to leave as soon as possible. Go to a convenience store, a fast food store, a supermarket, a home store, whatever's at your junction. Go to that business and go inside and seek shelter with them. It'll be much safer than staying in your car. Or on a stretch without junctions, and you see the tornado coming towards you, get out of your car, go to the side of the highway, get in a ditch, get low, put your head down and the hands in the back of your head. That's the best way to protect yourself, by getting low. It limits your chance of being hit by debris and limits the chance of the tornado picking you up.
A tornado warning in the state of Missouri here. This is including the city of St. Clair. We have a tornado warning in place for Crawford, Washington, and Franklin counties until 6 p.m. for a tornado and golf ball sized hail. This thing is near St. Clair right now, south of there near Sullivan, heading in the general direction of Eureka. So that's currently what's going on with that. But now again, we're going to focus on that particularly dangerous situation that continues to unfold in Arkansas, and that will shortly be crossing into the state of Tennessee. It looks like this is going to go north of Memphis, but if you're in Millington, Clarksdale, Turl, have to get to that safe place right here, right now, as it looks like a tornado is rapidly strengthening.
Yeah, this is moving right towards you guys.
That's the unfortunate scenario. We've seen numerous strong to potentially violent tornadoes today already, and I think that we can safely say that in terms of the amount of tornadoes and their potential intensity, this has been the most active day of the year thus far, and we're continuing to see tornado warnings straight up and down here in Iowa, Missouri, and Arkansas here. So
I mean, we had a likely intense tornado that moved through the Little Rock metro area, spawning a tornado emergency. We had a massive, what looked like a mile-wide wedge in Iowa that was reminiscent of the Rochelle tornado that happened in April 2015. That tornado was a high-end EF4. Some say it may have been EF5, controversial rating. And this tornado looked very similar to that. Now, of course, if it didn't hit anything, it'll get a lower rating than EF4, but it's certainly possible. And it was almost certainly an intense tornado as well. And this most recent tornado that hit Wynn and then moved very near to Pumpkin and Earl and is now crossing I-55. We don't know if it lifted briefly or if it's been down the whole time, but this is also a likely intense tornado.
I do
Although in
want
the
to
latest
break
velocity
in.
frame, it has weakened, which is great to see.
Absolutely. I do want to break in really quickly just to touch on what's going on in Iowa. It does look like those supercells have kind of congealed into a line. We are starting to get the QLCS action now.
Yes, the discrete mode has ended in Iowa.
Which is a whole nother type of threat. Mainly, so with supercells, you get those really long track tornadoes. They stay down and they keep going. QLCS tornadoes are different. They spin up extremely quickly. They can spawn in less than 5 minutes once the circulation gets going, but then almost as quickly as they come, they immediately dissipate. Well, not immediately. Usually about 5 to 10 minutes maximum. So it is extremely important. In fact, I think we may have one ongoing near Tipton as we speak.
There's been ongoing QLCS tornadoes on and off since the wedge tornado lifted. It's been remarkable how consistent they've been in that portion of storms in eastern Iowa.
I do believe we have 2 tornadoes. Yep, we have 2 tornadoes in a single tornado warning. One located over Tipton Matthews Airport, and another one located northeast of Cedar Bluff. So there are at least 2 tornadoes on the ground with this new QLCS mode. Those are both moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. So that mode, even though it's a QLCS now, it's going to continue to produce tornado after tornado after tornado. So this is going to really drive up the counts for the entire event. But if you are in any of the following cities and counties, you need to be moving to shelter now. So counties are southwestern Jackson, northern Cedar, southeastern Jones, and northwestern Clinton. This will be near Stanwood, pretty much now. Clarence around 5:30. Loudoun, Massillon Park, and Oxford Hills around 5:35. Excuse me. Oxford Junction and Lost Nation around 5:40, all Central Daylight Time. This will also be near Monmouth, Nashville, Baldwin, Eden Valley Refuge, Buckhorn, Maquoketa, and the municipal airport. I apologize if I mispronounced that. And Maquoketa Cave State Park. So if you are in any of those locations, you need to move into shelter now. There are 2 tornadoes moving through the area, and both of them are producing damage. They are visible on radar, so it is extremely important that you take that situation seriously. There's also possibly a third one developing south of Tipton as well. So please make sure that if you are anywhere near Davenport, especially to the northwest of Davenport, that you are moving to shelter, because basically the entire area is going to be lit up with tornado warnings here very shortly.
Absolutely. And I would like to note that we just had a mesoscale discussion issued for this tornado emergency supercell in northeastern Arkansas. A likely strong EF2 tornado occurred in northeastern Arkansas. The environment ahead of it will continue to support the potential for strong tornadoes this evening. And we are halfway to the record for mesoscale discussions issued in a day, and we are only 10 hours into the day as the Storm Prediction Center measures it. So we're at a record pace for mesoscale discussions, which means there's a lot of notable storm activity ongoing.
Update: the tornado that moved just north of Tipton has a sizable debris ball now as it's en route to Clarence. So Clarence, move to shelter now.
Goodness.
I don't want. So it's obviously a good thing to be notified. I don't want you to be scared. You still have a little bit of time to prepare and move. You don't have very much though. You have approximately 5 minutes to get to shelter.
Yeah, if you're in Clarence, that's a big time to
make sure.
ball.
So also, please make sure you're moving to shelter.
Also like to note, not sure if we mentioned it, extension to the PDS tornado warning, now extending into Tennessee, including Mississippi, Crittenden, Tipton, and Shelby counties at this time. So that PDS tornado warning remains with that robust supercell, although it does look like that couplet, that rotational signature, it's not quite able to keep its act together right now. We'll see how long that lasts for.
Mm-hmm. While we have a moment, oh, never mind, the signal's gone again. We do have a chaser on our team who is out there at the moment. He's with the storm in western Illinois by Beardstown, and they're currently in the middle of some rain. There were glimpses of a wall cloud earlier, but it seems they're going to they've just let the tornado warning expire for this storm, so it's downgraded to severe status. But yes, still a dangerous storm. 2-inch hail, 60 mile an hour wind gusts, and a flooding threat.
Absolutely. All right, so I've been your host here for the past few hours. We're going to be switching hosting stuff to Rishi here in the next little bit, as I do need to go for a little while, although I will be back with you here in a few hours' time if it is warranted. So thank you so much for watching the stream thus far. I hate to go on break here during this dangerous tornado outbreak here. We will be back here very shortly, I promise. Just give us a little bit.